Well, we're only 2 minutes behind schedule, so that's pretty good. But I did want to maintain that schedule because there's so many of you here that have turned out to share your stories and what it means to you in this current climate with all the revenue cuts and the threats of services being cut. My name is Senator Melissa Wintrow. I'm the Senate Minority Leader. I'm joined today co-chairing a committee with Representative Rubel, who's the Minority Leader of the House. She's going to say a few words here in a minute, but I also want to recognize the other members of the House and Senate Democratic Caucus, and just really welcome, if there are any of our Republican colleagues as well that made it today, we'd love to have you, and we just welcome you. Yeah. Before we get to introductions, let me just give you a little brief history of how we got here, and then I want each of the legislators to say their name and their district, and then we're going to go through some of the practical matters of this evening. But basically, the Joint Finance and Appropriations Committee, as you well know, is considering the budgets of the state at this time. Unfortunately, there are many people that are calling for budget cuts in our revenue problem, and we believe that it's just very important, if we're going to do anything to Medicaid or health care, that we provide an opportunity for people to share their stories. Unfortunately, the Joint Finance and Appropriations Committee does not take, it's the only committee that doesn't take public testimony. It certainly has done it in the past, twice that I know of, during the Great Recession, but unfortunately the committee would not open. And so we just thought it was so important to invite people here to share. Now, this is not a formal committee, right? So what we are going to do is hear testimony. We are live streaming. We've asked for it to be recorded, so it will go in the digital archive on the legislative website, and we're going to collect any written testimony that you have. Our goal is to get all of that compiled and then share that with our legislative colleagues. Typically, in a formal committee, there would be a way to get something on the record and in the journal. Unfortunately, since this is not an official committee, we can't do that, but we're going to do everything we can to share your stories with as many people as we can. And you see the press is here as well. So again, this is an open meeting. What you say here is public, so just want to caution folks and let you know that as you come to the podium, and that we do have cameras in the press here. Is that okay? So welcome. So we're going to start to my left and do introductions, then we're going to go down to the right, and we're going to end with Representative Rubel, and she'll have a few words as well, and then we'll get started.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. My name is Steve Birch. I represent District 15, which is in West Boise, and a little bit of East Meridian around the village. And it's really great to see such a great turnout here and folks who care and want to share their stories. Thank you very much.
Well, welcome, everybody. I'm John Gannon from District 17, which is Boise Central Bench. And if you're from the Central Bench in my district, a double welcome. Everybody from 17, raise your hands if you're, all right.
That's great. Great. And then let's go down to the far left, down there, the Representative Mathias.
Hello, everyone. Representative Chris Mathias, District 19. Welcome to District 19.
Hello, Representative Megan Egbert, also District 17, up on the Boise bench.
Hi, Senator Ron Taylor. I'm from District 26. That's Blaine, Lincoln, and Jerome counties. Thank you for making time to be here today. And don't be offended, but I'm going to have to leave at about 4:45. So, but again, thank you for your time.
Thank you all for being here. This is fabulous. Janie Ward Engel King, Senator from District 18, also sit on JFAC, so I know how important this hearing is to us to make sure that your needs are met and not cut. But also, I have to leave for about 30 minutes at 4:30, but I'll be back at 5. So thank you.
Yeah, they already did it. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Representative Alana Rubel, District 18, also with Janie, South and Southeast Boise. I'm also the House Minority Leader. I can't thank you enough for being here. This is an incredible turnout, which I think speaks very powerfully to the impact that Medicaid has on people in our state and that the prospective cuts have on people's lives. Senator Wintrow talked a little bit about the history. So our understanding is we were not in office then, but the last time we had cuts of this magnitude were in the downturn of 2008, 2009. And at that time, it was our understanding that they actually held public hearings in committee so that before we made the cuts, we could have a better understanding of the actual real-life impacts and what this was going to mean in people's lives. Unfortunately, we could not get official committee hearings on this time, but we thought it was absolutely critical before these cuts happen, which could be as soon as Friday, that we get in the record, in the public eye, a very real understanding of what this is going to mean to people's lives and to people's health and to people's families. So we're very grateful that you're out here today to enable us to fill out that picture and understand exactly what these cuts mean, not on paper, but in reality.
Yes, thank you,
Oh,
Representative.
and I'm sorry, one more thing. I wanted to give a shout out to Senator Ali Rabi in the back, who's here as well.
So, woo! Oh, she gets a hand clap. I love it. So, y'all, here's what's going to happen. As you heard, it's a really busy time, and we're trying to do a lot of things at once. So some of us will come and go during the time. But please know we all care and we all want to hear your stories. And again, we're going to take that written testimony. Because there's such a great turnout, unfortunately, we have to limit our time to about 2 minutes each person. I hate to do that. But if we're going to get through everybody, we kind of have to do that. Is everybody okay with that? You're amazing, amazing. So what we'll do then is Sophie, who's wonderful, she's one of our staff members, she's going to help me just figure out who's signed up in what order. And let's all be supportive to ensure that folks who are using the services, people with disabilities, then families and providers, like let's get a mix so we don't just hear from all providers, right? We want to make sure we're hearing directly from people with disabilities as well. Make sense? So we'll all be patient with that as we try to make sure that works. Is that okay? And then when you come up, that first person will turn on the microphone here, and if you have to use a wheelchair or electric assisted chair, there's microphones on either side that we can turn on. Yep. Oh, Rochelle will turn them on. You're so kind. Thank you, Rochelle. Perfect. And again, if you need to be closer for ASL interpretation, please come forward. We'll make sure you have a seat. You ready? Thank you. Okay, our first person up is it Gracie? Grace? Grace Heel? Is it Helle is the last name? Come on down, Grace. You're the next. Yeah. So, remember that Bob Barker show? Oh my gosh. Good job, Grace. Way to be supportive. And then Grace, we have like a little clock up there. Sophie is going to run it, so don't let that scare you if it bings, but it's just to guide us at that 2 minutes, okay?
Okay.
You're
Thank
so
you.
amazing.
Thank
And
you
then-
all for the Price is Right welcome. I
Woo!
appreciate it.
And then each time, just say your name and then tell your story.
Great. Okay, I'm going to try to do this quickly. First, I wanted to say thank you all for holding this forum because I know you didn't have to, and we really appreciate it. My name is Grace Healy. I am only representing myself, but I am also a state employee of the last 11 years. I have a mortgage on a house in the bench. I pay my taxes. I'm a good neighbor. My daughter is 7. She's severely autistic. I use the word severe, profound, the old school words so that people understand the severity of her situation. A lot of people call autism a superpower. Her superpowers include causing water damage to bathrooms, being a nudist, and if you don't hold her hand, she'll run into traffic and any body of water she sees. She has no sense of danger. She's 7 years old. Alice needs one-on-one supervision every moment that she's awake. She's in a great school program with Boise School District, but she can't attend regular after-school programs because she needs help with toileting and will run away if she gets half of a chance. If she were to escape, she can't tell anyone helping her what is her name or her address. She might take her clothes off in the middle of the street. A very real fear for me is that my nonverbal nudist daughter would be a very excellent target for a predator, right? We can all understand that. Alice can't go to regular after-school care or vacation care. There is no after-school program for children with disabilities in Boise that I've been able to find. If anybody knows of one, please let me know. The Family Direct Service budget we receive every year allows me to pay for one-on-one personal support services for Alice. This is key to my mental health as it allows me to go have supervised care so I can take a shower or a nap or go grocery shopping if she But more importantly, it allows me to work. Many, many families with a disabled member have one adult leave the workforce to care for the disabled person. I'm now a single divorced mom. I don't have that luxury to stay home. I need to either work or patchwork together a bunch of financial and charitable benefits from government agencies in order to pay my job. Please fund Family Direct Services.
Good job. Unlike most committee rooms, we're not allowed to clap, but I love it. Bring it. I love that support. Thank you for sharing that. Our next person up is Richard Murray. Is Richard out there? Maybe Richard's in the overflow room. And then we can do somebody on deck, which would be Kayla Morgan. So is Richard Murray there? Or Kayla Morgan on deck?
Oh, someone's coming.
Is this Richard? I'm Richard. Richard, come on down. Oh. Okay, so then I'll let you cross that off. Thank you, Richard. Did you hear all the instructions in the other room? Bless you. Here, come to the microphone, tell us your name, and share your story.
Richard Murray. I'm healthy. I don't need health care, but I do expect my legislators to provide health care for those that need it. Please continue to have access to health care in this state. Thank you.
Bless you. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard. So Kayla Morgan was on deck. Is that Kayla? And then right after Kayla will be, is it Teen Cooper?
My name is Kayla Morgan, and do I need address or anything? Or okay.
You know what? That's a great idea. You don't have to put your address, but just say,
Oh,
here's
I'm
my
just-
hometown. This is where I'm from.
Hometown, District 18. But anyway, like Richard, I don't need the type of health care that we're talking about today, I guess, but I am terribly concerned of any thought of not allowing all to have good access to health care. It seems cruel to do otherwise. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Wonderful. Then Megan Case. Is Megan Case. And then on deck after Megan will be, hold on, Megan. Is that Tina? Or Tom? Terry. And then after Megan is it Terry Cooper or Tom Cooper or Team Cooper? Just so if you're listening in the other room, so that's the person on deck. Go ahead. Your name and where you're from.
Thank you very much. My name is Megan Case, and I'm a resident of Meridian. My 9-year-old daughter, Emma, has Rett syndrome, which is a genetic misspelling of her DNA that affects how her body processes proteins. She is nonverbal, non-ambulatory, doesn't have functional use of her hands, and she relies on caregivers to assist her with every aspect of her daily life. Up until last summer, I worked as Emma's paid caregiver. It allowed me to have a job for the first time in many years. When the Department of Health and Welfare sought to end that program, I called my representatives. I sent emails to the governor and all but begged for this opportunity to be continued for families in Idaho. We lost that fight, and while many community members still find hope that that program will return, I feel less optimistic. I think that's how many parents, spouses, caregivers, and recipients of Medicaid feel these days, is less optimistic. What comes as an everyday assumption for the lives of our typical neighbors comes at a growing cost to many in this room. I, for one, am seeing that the price for my continued fight is getting too high. But the ultimate price, however, won't be paid by me. It'll be paid by Emma. I've long believed that the best resource for a special needs family are other special needs families, not doctors, not therapists, and not politicians. These people will keep fighting, but they are tired of doing so. They're tired of having to beg for the bare minimum. They're tired of having to justify everything they ask for. And they're tired of being part of a village that doesn't value them as a villager. I am here because I know what an amazing value those we fight for bring to this village. I know that being a good villager means caring for those around you, even if you don't completely understand their needs, but because you still see the importance of their needs being met. I hope you'll all do what you can to remind your colleagues of the importance of caring for the whole village and all who make it great. Thank you.
Thank you. Actually, quick, Megan, actually, before you go, I just wanted to say, I am personally actually working, I assume you're referring to the FPCS program, which I now have legislation drafted to try to restore. So I want to make sure we have you in our loop, because we are going to need all families on deck to come and testify when that bill hopefully comes up for a hearing.
My
So I want to
contact
make sure
information
we
is
have
here.
your email, so I can tell you when that's happening.
Well,
Thank you.
And if you have, thank you. And we are collecting written comments, so when you leave, I'm thinking Avery or somebody else has arranged to grab those written comments, but if you feel like if no one's getting it from you, bring it up to us. Great. Oh, there's a basket right in front to leave your written comments. It's perfect. Next is it Terry Team Cooper? Somebody with the last name of Cooper? All right, no, okay. Ned? Oh, Ned. Is it Fowkes? Ned? It's Folks. Ned Folks. I know Ned. Where's Ned? Is Ned in the overflow room? If Ned's in the overflow room, we're going to wait for him, or going to get him. And then if not, Jeremy Crop. Oh, here comes Ned. Ned, come on down. Welcome, Ned. We're going to start your timer, but you heard all the instructions, your name and where you're from.
Ned Folks, I'm from Boise. I'm a family advocate for my daughter, Eva. Yes, I am a parent of a daughter, Eva, who is receiving supported living residential habilitation services in Boise and has for the past 18 years. The care providing services she receives in the community, she and her roommate rent a small house, are provided by a ResHab agency that is funded by Medicaid reimbursement rates. The staff are not well paid, and that is one reason there is ongoing turnover and staff retention issues for this critical and really hard work. I say critical because if there are reimbursement rate cuts, and if they're extreme, the model of ResHab agency survival is at risk. And the fact that our daughter requires 24-hour, 7-day-a-week direct care for every single aspect of her life, her survival is also at risk. I could go into detail, but not at this moment. Eva cannot care for herself in any way. She's nonverbal, non-ambulatory. Her superpower is she has a lot of joy, and she has a great sense of humor, which is a good thing. Supported living is infinitely more cost-effective and humane than that of any other institutional care that would be required for her care. And without this level of care, our daughter would not thrive and cause her great physical and emotional trauma, as well as her family. She would decline rapidly, and she would die in short order without this day-to-day, hour-to-hour care. Please maintain the priority of funding for ResHab as a sustainable levels for those who, through no fault of their own, are among the most vulnerable citizens of Idaho. Please don't cut critical services. Thank you for listening. I have known these programs to be compassion in action. This is an amazing program. Thank you.
Ned, so good to see you. Thank you. Jeremy. Thank you, Ned. Jeremy Crop? Jeremy Crop? Christy Bennett? Christy, here comes Christy. Come on down, Christy. So good to see you. I love this supportive community. Isn't it nice? I'm going to take you to all my committees.
We are in Representative Birch's district. This is Sharon. She has lived with me for 26 years. I did not write anything down, so I'm a little nervous.
It's amazing. You're great.
Sharon, like I said, has lived with me for 26 years, and we've had it's been great, except for the last 3 years. Sharon got really sick. She broke both of her femurs, and because of that, I could not take care of her. She had to go into a nursing home for 2 months. It was rehab at first, and then they snuck her into the nursing home side of it. In that time, Sharon called me every single night, bawling her head off, wanting to come home. And I had to tell her I could not bring her home because I couldn't care for her. But while she was in the nursing home, while she was in the nursing home, things were not progressing. She was getting worse and worse and worse, and she went from, it's all right, she went from being a full, active person to being stuck in a wheelchair. And, sorry.
Doing great.
And we went, I put my life on hold after the 2 months was up because I said, if I don't get her out of there, she's going to die in there. So much to the point where when she was calling me at night, they were mad that she was calling me, and so they put her on an antidepressant saying that she was depressed. Well, she was depressed because she wanted to get up and go to the bathroom, and they would not let her go to the bathroom. They told her to soil herself, and they would come and clean her. It was easier. So I put my life on hold. I went and got her, took her to her orthopedic and her therapy, and the doctor said he never thought Sharon would walk again. He thought she'd be stuck in a wheelchair. As you can see, Sharon can walk. She's fully functioning, and it's because of what you guys, what Medicaid has done for us, because Sharon now, I mean, she lives a full, happy life. We've got some medical issues, but it's not like it was. And I just want you to hear from Sharon what she feels about nursing homes, and if you take away certified family homes, where it's going to put her. You go ahead and tell them.
Welcome,
You want to tell them what you felt about being in a nursing home?
No.
Okay.
Bless you. Good job, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Bless you for being here. Taylor Mossman Fletcher. Here comes Taylor, and I'm Deck. And then after Taylor will be Colleen Kelsey.
Thank you. My name is Taylor Mossman Fletcher, and I'm a lawyer in Boise. I've represented thousands of disabled Idahoans over the last 20 years. 80% of my clients are people that have lost their jobs or are temporarily out of work due to injury or illness. The first thing they ask me when they call me inquiring about representation is, how can you help me get through this so I can get back to work as soon as possible? Because they are off work, most of them have also lost access to medical insurance. Access to Medicaid enables them to recover so that they can return to work, thereby returning their income taxes and tax revenue to the state. Without Medicaid, their conditions worsen, their infections deepen, their untreated spinal condition limits mobility and function. Then they are disheartened to learn that Social Security disability, of course, which is run by the federal government, will take months, if not years, to qualify for, leaving them in complete limbo. If not on Social Security disability and younger than 65, then Medicare is not an option. So who is in the best position to get these folks better and back to work? Not the federal government, it's the state of Idaho. This very morning, one of my clients, a 54-year-old self-employed construction laborer, had major shoulder surgery this morning. He needed the surgery because he had a fall and tore his rotator cuff. He did not have insurance. For months, I tried to convince him to apply for Medicaid so he could get his shoulder fixed. He refused, telling me he has worked his entire life and didn't want to accept a handout. Finally, after realizing this was his only means to return to work, he applied and was approved and has had his surgery scheduled this morning. He is now hopeful that he can return to work within 6 to 8 weeks. Let's not perpetuate the myth that Medicaid is a handout. Medicaid is a tool. It's a vehicle to ensure that Idaho workers can continue to work and contribute to our tax revenue. Not only is it a tool, but as we will see today from the testimony from many people here, it is a necessity. It's a basic life need. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. So good. And Colleen Kelsey, and after Colleen will be Sarah Cox.
Good afternoon. My name's Colleen Kelsey, and my home base is Boise. I'm directing most of my comments to the JFAC members who are not sitting here.
And then speak in that microphone. Janie just left, but yes. Sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Go.
Most people don't realize that 2 out of 10 families in our country take care of a child with special needs. Nor do they recognize that the divorce rate for those families is higher than the national average by some bit. The stress of parenting a special needs child is hard to explain to outsiders. We are on all the time. We sleep with one ear open every night, anticipate any possible difficulty for community outings, and try to ignore the people who stare or scowl because we have a child who is out of control. Forget long trips in the summer, or dating, or going out with friends to a movie, sometimes for years. Medicaid provides necessary respite and training programs that are quite literally the lifelines for parents. In 1982, an occupational therapist taught me how to move my son's legs so they would get stronger and he would be able to walk. Later, thanks to speech therapy teachers, special education teachers, and vocational rehab job coaches, he received quality and right now training throughout his K-12 years that have helped him become a valuable and delightful member of society. At age 42, my son has accomplished far more than I ever thought possible. He was the first child in our district who was mainstreamed into a regular classroom. At 17, he got his first job cleaning bathrooms at Arby's, where he worked for 5 years and rode his bicycle back and forth to work. He worked in the kitchen of a 5-star restaurant for 8 years, and after we moved to Boise, he worked at a local drive-in for 6 years until he could no longer concentrate enough to follow directions. Now, with what we believe is the beginning of dementia, he lives in a house with a roommate and 24-hour care provided by a fantastic agency. He and his roommate have already planned what yard work they will do in the summer.
It's okay. Finish your sentence. Go.
He and his roommate have already planned what yard work they will do, and he does have, oh, by the way, informed the landlord that he doesn't need to hire anyone to mow the lawn. They've got it covered. He's a tax-paying Idaho citizen, hardly the student with no future described by Representative Steve Miller last week. Oh, and he votes, too. He understands his responsibility as a citizen to contribute. The proposed Medicaid cuts will hurt real people, children, parents, adults, and seniors. Please do not make the cuts that you perceive will save money. You can do a better job with the math.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. And again, people are coming and going, and that's okay. And I just saw Representative Galaviz join us, too. So thank you. Woo! So Sarah Cox, did you come in? There's Sarah. And then after Sarah is Nancy Kumar. How do you pronounce your last name? Where are you, Nancy? There you are. I always blow that. But here comes Sarah and then Nancy. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you. I'm Sarah Cox, District 15. I grew up in Castleford, a small town in Idaho. I have an older brother with Down syndrome. I'm going to try to get through this without getting emotional. Yeah. You got it. Okay.
Oh, that's
my brother.
I love you guys. You're amazing.
Yes.
Support.
I hate that this discussion is reducing him to a number in the state's budget. He's so much more than that. He turns 55 next week, and he's a huge blessing to our family. One of the best things that's happened to our family. He loves Bon Jovi and just about any 80s rock music, actually. He will talk your ear off about Marvel movies or Boise State football. Yeah. As my parents age, they're in their 70s now, and it's my privilege of being Justin's caregiver. The proposed cuts are so horrendous. They're literally keeping me and my family awake at night. My mom is physically sick right now because she can't sleep, and she's so worried about what will happen to him after they're gone if these programs go away. She's been fighting for Justin's dignity, both my parents have for decades, and now Idaho's threatening to take away more vital services, like dental care. She just paid over $3,000 out of pocket for Justin's root canal, expensive glasses, and now we're told that maybe adults might not even get dental cleanings at all. How many people won't go to the dentist at all when this happens? This is inhumane. We rely on the certified family home and self-direction programs for Justin's care. Who can just completely give up their jobs and pay for loved ones? We can't. We're not asking the state to provide homes for these people. We want them in our homes. And we're getting paid a fraction of what professionals would charge to provide this care. There's no room for cuts or trims at all. Everything is a lifeline. Everything is important to these people, to these families. And every Idaho citizen should be horrified that they're wanting to balance the budget on the backs of our most vulnerable. So I beg legislators to admit that this problem is easily solved by using just a small percentage of Idaho's $1.4 billion rainy day fund. Then,
Thank you.
yes.
I know you're getting applause, but we're going to have to wrap up to get somebody else, but you're doing great.
Then make sure this doesn't happen again. The state is watching you. Please, absolutely no cuts to Medicaid for disability services.
Good job. Thank you. Thank you. And then here comes Nancy, and after Nancy is somebody named Chance from Boise. But here comes Nancy. And you guys are doing amazing staying to the 2 minutes. Thank you. You're doing great.
So my name is Nancy Coomer. I grew up in Southeast Idaho. I have lived in Boise for 25 years. I went to school at Boise State. My background is in social science, psychology, and sociology, and dispute resolution. Senator Wintrow was actually one of my mentors in college, so a lot of my background has been working in any area that helps people who are marginalized, whether it be women, children, people who are disabled. I now run a certified family home. I used to live in the Bench for 20 years. I now live in Meridian. Due to increase of my rent by 100% in Boise, I had to move to Meridian. I run a certified home. I have 4 people in my home. I do have disabled children my own self. We have been a part of the program since my children were little. So cuts to infant toddler program, which enabled my children to learn how to deal with sensory, to all of the help that they got within the education system. They also had speech therapy and OT that's being affected. And even though my one daughter has aged out of it, I called them today and had a conversation with them today saying that what they do matters. What they do enabled my child to have the ability to do the things she does now. She would not be able to do a lot of the things she had she not had the support to grow. Cutting certified home puts people in institutions again. It didn't work the first time. It did not keep them safe. Cutting anything when it comes to their medications. I have one kiddo that lives in my home that if he's not on those medication becomes manic, aggressive. I myself obviously have personal connection to this, but even if I didn't, I would still be standing here. We cannot allow this inhumane act to happen, taking away basic services to keep people to be able to be alive, have a place to live, and be cared for by someone who actually cares about them and loves them.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Nancy. Is Chance coming up? Okay. 1 second. 1 second, Chance. So here's the one thing I do want to share. You know, we're having this open forum. I just love the community here, and thank you for being so open and sharing, and we're going to hear from you in a second, Chance. The one thing I haven't heard, what you've heard is there's this list, right, that the governor put in his budget saying, legislature, figure out from these optional programs what to cut. And optional is a hard word, but they're not required in state or federal law, right? So those things are like dental, which we heard about, home and community-based services we heard about, ResHab, and so forth. There's like a list of about 12 things. The one thing so far I haven't heard is that there would be a cut to certified family homes. So I think what's really important is we want to elevate voices and share those stories. I do want to say if there's a lot of stress about that, so far I haven't heard that. But it is still important to gather those stories, right? To say, here's the essential things in our lives so everybody knows, right? So we are doing everything we can to elevate your voices and making sure people understand really the critical needs that people have. No decisions have been made, but what I'm hearing so far is just anxiety and stress about the conversation itself. Is that what I'm hearing? Yeah. So again, our job today is really to, again, share, hopefully in this live stream and with other people, the importance that Medicaid and other these health services play in your lives, so we can protect them, so people don't talk about cutting them, right? Right? Makes sense.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
if I may just on
Yes,
that.
go ahead, Representative Birch.
Thank you. So this afternoon, I had the occasion to meet with several Hispanic families with an interpreter. And in regard to certified family homes, absolutely terrified that if anything is done with that, that their loved ones are going to have to be institutionalized.
Right.
And that was a common theme what I heard, and I would suspect people here might feel the same way about that.
Yes. So again, I just want to alleviate a teeny bit of stress. I haven't heard that yet. However, they're all important, and we don't want to point fingers of cutting one or the other, right? We're all valuable. We all make sure, right? So again, lift up those stories and tell us what is so essential and what is making a difference in your lives, and hopefully that will just make that difference. So thank you for your patience. Chance, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Chance. I'm from Boise, and I live in a residential rehabilitation program, and I've been there for coming up on 3 years, and I've lived in halfway houses, flop houses, sober houses, and I never got the help that I needed until I moved into this house that Chelsea Cox runs as a rehabilitation house. And I've been sober for 2 years now. I've been sober. And I just can't understand everything, but I don't want them to take away my house.
Yeah.
So,
Bless you. Thank you, Chance. Oh, we saw Representative Hawes come in. Welcome.
Thank you all for being here.
Yeah. Okay, next up is Ryan Jones. And after Ryan will be Lynn Wayland or Wheeland. So is Ryan here or in the overflow room? And then, oh, yay. Did I hear Ryan is here? Nope. Lynn Wheeland? Okay, come on down. Here she is.
Thanks, everybody. Hi.
Yeah, say your name and where you're from.
My name is Lynn Weiland. This is my son, Grant Pecuri. He's 30 years old. We've been in Boise for 30 years. And he was diagnosed with Fragile X syndrome at the age of 3, which is an inherited form of mental impairment and developmental delays. And I keep hearing you say how wonderful all this support is, but this is how we are, right? Like this is our life. Yes, we have a lot of hard in our lives, but we also have a great village. However, a lot of us tend to isolate, myself included. I have a certified family home. When I heard that the parents weren't going to be allowed to bill unless you were certified family home, and I heard what you just said, and that gave me just a shred of hope, because if that goes away, we are in so much trouble. We'll be living in a van. I mean, we make $16 an hour. Yeah. It's not like I'm going to Cabo. And if I have to put him elsewhere so I can go out and work, it just doesn't make sense for him to be happy, healthy, adjusted, in the best place, being taken care of the best people, which is his family, mostly me. I do 90% of the caregiving. I sat in front of the JFAC committee 25 years ago when he was 5, and I handed out a flyer saying, here's Grant, if you cut his services, this is how it's going to hurt. And here we are again. Like, we don't want to keep doing this. And it's hard. Every year you have to reapply and re-qualify. It's not like Fragile X is going away. And I see so many families here and so many people with higher needs and more needs and different needs. And I'm so grateful for everything we've had all of these years in Idaho. But to take some of this stuff away is really going to make a difference for a lot of people, and not in a good way.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Is my time over? Because I'll keep going. And if anybody has, Grant's a really big deal with the fire department. So if anybody knows a firefighter, they probably know Grant. Yeah, he's got his Ladder 5 jersey on. So thanks very much you guys for having us.
Thanks for sharing. So awesome. So did Ryan Jones show up? Is Ryan Jones here? If not, Grant, is it, gosh, I feel terrible. Pekun maybe, or I have my glasses on.
That might have been Grant. Her son was Grant.
Oh, Grant. Yeah, that's her son. Yep, okay. So next is Shelley Babbitt. Shelley Babbitt. Shelley here. Here we go. And then after Shelley is Lacey Protopopous. That's close. Good. Good job. You're doing great.
Hi.
Hi there. Share your name and story.
My name's Shelley Babbitt. This is my son, Nathan Babbitt. We live in Caldwell. We're District 9. And I am here to tell you a little bit about how the services being cut would impact our family. Nathan was born with a very, very rare seizure disorder. And on top of that seizure disorder, this seizure disorder was rare, and then he had grand mal seizures on top of it. He didn't have any movement. He was a very sick baby. And the mortality rate of children that have that is very, very high. So his pediatrician told me, put him away in a home, cut your losses, be done, live your life. I said that's not an option, so the services started when he was 4 months old. I have to tell you that I am so thankful for Medicaid. In the 31 years he's been alive, Medicaid services has helped me. I was a single mom 29 years of his 31 years of life. And without the services that have been provided for him, we wouldn't have been. They told me he would never walk, he would never talk, he would never do anything. He walks, he tries to talk. His favorite thing that he does is listen to music, and George Strait is his favorite.
I love that shirt.
So I have a certified family home, and I have people hired to work with Nathan. He has 24-hour care needs. He has to be attended all the time. He is dangerous to himself and to others. So with the certified family home, I can hold a job, and I hold a job. But if the services were cut and we no longer had a certified family home, I wouldn't be able to work anymore because someone would have to be there to take care of him. So I just have to appeal to you and the powers that be that you not cut these services that are so valid and needed by us.
Thank you so much. So we're going to try to announce 4 names at a time so we can hurry along a little bit. But the other thing is I do want to be sensitive. If anybody is driven from like an hour away or 2 hours away, we want to make sure we get you today too. So go ahead.
Hi, I'm Lacey Protopopous. I'm from Hayden, Idaho. So unfortunately, not your guys' district, but we're happy to be here today. I prepared an entire statement, and I'm going to toss it out.
Oh, good.
I am the mom to 6 kids. Of my 6 kids, 3 of them have disabilities. They have all at one point or another, either currently or previously, been a part of home and community-based services. My older one who attended services, because of services, he no longer forcibly vomits when he eats. He tries new foods. He eats foods I would never touch. Because of the services my younger son receives, he no longer elopes. I came home one day and he was gone. Our neighbor found him, and thank God for that. And at that time, he was also nonverbal, so he couldn't tell the neighbor where he lived other than point to our car, because he knew that that was our car. And in the 18 months that he has received services, he has made leaps and bounds, and not just the home and community-based services, but also the OT, PT, and speech. those are the services my second child receives. He has a neuromuscular disorder, and when we receive the news that services are cut to 20 visits, we're not sure what's going to happen after his 20 visits, because those 20 visits keep him out of a wheelchair. They keep him able to walk and run and play just like every other 12-year-old boy. So for him, those services are incredibly invaluable, and they're not something that our private insurance pays for. It took a year for our private insurance to deny it so that Medicaid would pay it. So our provider, as a business owner, went a year without services. So one of the other things is caregiver burnout. That is something that these services help cover with respite care. Whether it's in the res hab homes, families have hit their point where they are not able to care for a family member, or it is simply the best position, is what it comes down to. And also with this, I previously ran a statewide nonprofit. I've met a couple of you when I was doing that. And so I have seen how this affects people living their everyday life, and also how the policy decisions ripple through.
Bless you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for being here and sharing. Yes, leave it right there. Thank you. Good. So I'm going to start announcing a few more names, but again, I want to make sure everybody knows, because it just dawns me sometimes I take this for granted, but everyone on this table here doesn't want to make any cuts. Do you understand? Yeah, we don't want to make any cuts. We don't want to make any cuts. What we want to do, though, is document your stories and get those to the people to help them, and the press and all these stories out there, to make sure we're taking your lives into consideration, right, as this goes forward. So I thought I better make that clear. I always assume you know that, but good. Okay, now we have Kevin Hanby. Is it Kevin Hanby? And then Haley Beal. And then, is it Dylan Kimberly? Dylan from Kimberly. Oh, Dylan's from Kimberly. My bad. So first of all, we have Kevin Hanby, if Kevin's here. Is Kevin here? Or Haley Beal. Or Dylan from Kimberly. Dylan, all right. Good job, Dylan. Now we just leave this class through that.
I'm
Thanks,
Dylan from Kimberly.
Yes,
Thanks
go.
for hearing me out. Wanted to remind everyone, the first record in history of people caring for one another, of civilization, is they found a skeleton where the femur had been healed, and that doesn't happen naturally. Someone has to care for that. Especially back when they were cavemen, somebody had to care for someone. So that's how we show one another that we are civilized people. We're not just animals. We have to care for one another. And we can go to the moon. We're exploring the solar system today. And we're reaching further beyond with all of our resources, all of our intellect, everything that we've come, all the resources we've gathered for ourselves as a civilization. We can do all these incredible things in this world we live in. We can care for one another. And we don't have to withdraw from our neighbors, from the people who need us the most. And if we can reach out the way we are in this world and going to the places that we've never been before, we can care for the people right next to us in our communities, in our homes, people across the street. We don't have to just let people suffer. We can take care of them the way that we've been doing as a civilization for millions of years now. We can do that even better. And you guys are the ones who can make that happen, and we thank you for your striving to do that. That's basically all I have to say.
Thank you so much, Dylan. I love that. Okay, is this Haley? Yay, Haley! Yeah. Great. Say your name and where you're from.
My name's Hallie Beal, and I'm from Moscow, Idaho. And this is Tara, who I work with. I work for residential habilitation for Milestone Decisions. And I want to talk about the ripple effect that cuts can make. My client here, Tara, If she was not living in our care, her options would be nursing home. To be honest, she'd pinch grandma and steal grandma's stuff. It would not be pleasant. If she was in jail, she'd steal other people's food. If she was homeless, she'd be going and eating the potato chips in Walmart. They'd throw her out, and she'd walk right back in. When I first started with Tara, my first shift, she pulled my hair, she bit me, she pinched me, and now she says please and thank you and is polite. And just the difference it has made in her life of having services. And she doesn't have a different safe place to be. And there's so many residents that don't have a different safe place to be. And just because Medicare isn't paying the bill, there will be bills to Idahoans for people not getting services. Many people with disabilities, they do horrible stuff when they don't get services because they're scared, they're hungry, and they don't know what else to do. One of my friends, one of her old clients, just started a fire, burned down somebody's house because he lost his home, he was scared, he was hungry, and it just happened to him. And there's so many residents that if they lost their placement or their funding, that would be their story. So just because you're not paying for it with Medicare, Idaho will pay for it. It may be higher insurance because people with disabilities are destructive unintentionally because they're hungry and scared. It may be just sepsis because they didn't get a cut taken care of because they didn't know it was going to be bad. So hospitals, if their hospital bill isn't paid, all of our insurance goes up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good job. So is Kevin Hanby, I'll say one more time, going once. Kevin Hanby, okay. Next, we have Thea Funds. And after Thea Funds will be Sarah McClure. And after Sarah McClure will be Marla Palmer. So is Thea here? Here comes Thea, yeah? And then Sarah, and then Marla. Go ahead, your name and where are you from?
Thank you. My name is Thea Foos. I work at Milestone Decisions, also in Moscow, Idaho. We're a nonprofit providing 24/7 home and community-based services to adults with different disabilities. I work alongside some of the most hardworking, dedicated, direct support professionals. Hallie's one of them, who provide essential daily support to people who cannot live independently without it. Our work includes assisting with mobility, personal care, including G-tubes, colostomy bags, some things that nurses and hospitals won't touch. Health monitoring, appointments, employment, volunteering, community engagement. These are not luxuries. They are critical services that allow people to live safely and with dignity in their own homes and communities. Without these supports, many people, not only those we serve, but across Idaho, will be forced into costly and inappropriate settings like nursing homes, hospitals, emergency rooms, jails, or other institutions. These placements are not only more expensive for the state than home and community-based services, but they also violate the Olmstead decision and the ADA, which requires services to be delivered in the least restrictive setting. Idaho is already, the Department of Justice is already investigating Idaho for unnecessary institutionalization as of early last year. So yes, it's having effects. The recent 4% Medicaid cut, it again is already having serious consequences. Many providers are no longer accepting Medicaid, and services like counseling and telehealth have become inaccessible for many of those we serve. Driving 2 hours for a 10, 15-minute consultation is just ridiculous. I respectfully urge you to not make any further cuts at this time. We know there has to be some cuts. We just please ask to be part of the conversation. Thoughtful, collaborative solutions instead of sweeping cuts are going to save the state a lot more in the long run, and it's just the right thing to do.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right. Thank you. is Sarah McClure.
Madam
Here
Chair- Madam
comes
Chair?
Sarah.
Can I make one quick comment?
Yes, go ahead, Steve.
So the last speaker just said, we know we have to make some cuts. I challenge that, and we may talk about that later.
And I think that's why we're here, right? We're fighting all these cuts, and there are other ways to make sure we have a balanced budget, and one of those might be not to cut the revenue so hard in the first place. Right? Okay. So we're going to have Sarah, and after Sarah again is Marla Palmer. And
Right.
then, okay, we'll just do it. Okay, go.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Sarah McClure. I'm from Northern Idaho, too. I just want to share Thea's story.
You're doing good. I know.
I was her guardian.
Look at all that support.
And her life was a perfect example of what supported living made possible. Thea recently passed away, but the impact of her life remains.
Doing good.
Before supported living, Thea spent years in settings that were not appropriate for her. She lived in a psychiatric ward out of state, not because she belonged there, but because there weren't community options available to her. It was loud, it was chaotic, it was traumatic. She was surrounded by constant noise, constant movement, and constant proximity to strangers. She was overwhelmed every single day, and it wasn't treatment, it was just survival. Thea was later moved to an intermediate care facility with 7 roommates, 4 staff, constant noise, and a rigid schedule that wasn't sustainable for her. Even with caring staff, it was still the wrong setting. It overwhelmed her. Her behaviors didn't escalate because she was more disabled or violent, but because she was trying to tell us the environment was too loud and too crowded and not right for her. Then something changed. She moved into her own home with supported living services built around her needs. She had privacy, she had peace, she had control, and finally had the life that reflected who she was and not her diagnosis. In supported living, she thrived. For the first time, she lived her happily ever after. And here's the point that everyone in the room needs to remember. Her supported living care cost the state less than institutional placements. Supported living is just compassionate. It's not only compassionate, but it's cost effective. If Thea was here today, she would stand in the room and if she could speak for herself, she would beg you to remember that your duty is to all Idahoans, not just the ones who are healthy enough, wealthy enough, or lucky enough to live without Medicaid. She would ask why people like her are the first ones to sacrifice, even though they have the least to give. So today I'm asking you to do one simple thing. Stop cutting the services that keep people alive and safe and a part of our community. Protect HCBS. That's the right choice to choose humanity.
Good job. Thank you. Really good job. Thank you for sharing that. Is Marla here? So after Marla will be, hold on, Marla, will be, is it Kaylee Bigerow or Kylie? And after Kylie is Lori Jo Poole. And then Michael Croth. Okay, go.
Hi, I'm Marla Palmer. I live in Twin Falls, and I provide services in both Burley and Twin Falls for people through the Home and Community-Based Services waiver doing residential habilitation. I moved to Idaho about 30 years ago. When I lived in Montana, I provided services in institutional care. And then since then, I've provided services in ICFID. And then 20 years ago, I started doing services for people in their own homes. And I can tell you that seeing people move from an ICF to their own homes is life-changing. People have a strong feeling about living in their own homes. I'm sure we can all relate to that. The people that I serve are members of the community. They're deserving members of the community. They spend money in your communities. They pay taxes in your communities. And They provide jobs for a lot of people in the communities. When you talk about the cuts, the 4% cuts hurt. All of us providers have figured it out. But further cuts will cost services. There's just not a way to sustain a business providing services to our most vulnerable people without having the money to pay. If they were to go back to the 21 rates, the numbers are staggering. There is no way that I can even pay my staff salaries. Staff do not work for $10 an hour anymore. And so it's incredibly important for our folks to have homes in their communities where they can live and get the services they need. They have jobs, they have families, they have friendships, and it's all part of the system it works beautifully. And if you ask them, where do you live? They go into doctor's offices. Do you live in a group home? And they will say no, because they live in their own homes. Please do not further cut these services. Thank you.
We're not going to do it. We're not cutting anything. But other people. Okay. And who did I? So then I have. Is it Kaylee? Kaylee. And if it's not Kaylee, it's Lori Jo Poole. Is Lori Jo here or Kaylee? And it's like Bigarell, maybe Kaylee Bigarell or Kylie Bigarell. Kaylee, sorry, Kaylee. And then after that's Lori Jo Poole. Go.
My name is Kaylee, at least for the next few moments, and I am here from Milestone Decisions, a res hab in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. First of all, I want to thank you, honorable legislators.
Oh, there you go.
I want to thank you, honorable legislators, for allowing me to speak, nervously shake my papers, and probably hide some nervous sweat stains from you. And I want to say to everybody that's getting up here and speaking, you guys are amazing. We all hear your voice, and we're all with you.
Woo!
I'm here today speaking for people who usually don't get heard in budget discussions. I'm speaking for the mom who's working, paying taxes, and trying to participate fully in society while also raising children with disabilities, who lives every month one policy decision away from financial crisis. Truth honest, I'm one crisis away from not being able to pay my mortgage. I'm sure there's a lot of other people. I'm speaking for the individual with a disability who has to drive hours across state lines for basic dental care because no provider is available where they live, or they stop taking Medicaid. I'm speaking for the person with a disability placed in an assisted living or skilled nursing facility, not because it's the best setting, but because community supports failed, where time passes with no clear plan for growth, independence, or improvement. In Idaho, about 1 in 5 adults live with a disability. These are not edge cases. These are Idaho families, Idaho workers, and Idaho taxpayers, your constituents. We've seen the consequences of cuts made without a plan before. In the early 80s, during the presidency of Ronald Reagan, federal mental health funding was cut while institutions were closed without a fully funded community placement. The result? Widespread homelessness among people with severe mental illness and long-term strain on emergency and justice systems that ultimately cost more. A similar lesson was learned in 2011 when Medicaid adult services were cut. Emergency room increased, costs were increased, and the benefits were later restored because guess what? It didn't save money. Medicaid is not abstract. It's the infrastructure that determines whether people with disabilities can live and be a part of their communities, which they have the right to, and remain stable. I leave with the fact that if we do have to have cuts, please invite providers to the table. We have lots of ideas. In fact, there's quite a few from the IACP in here that would love to have a conversation with you and go over those options.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Great. Up the list right here. So again, Michael Croth, are you there? Okay, Michael. After Michael is going to be David Kirkemo. David Kirkemo, am I saying that right? Kirkemo. And after David is Terry Waltman. You're on.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Michael Croth, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm really glad you all are here. Thank you so much for your support. I live in District 15, and I know Steve very well.
Woo, who doesn't?
I'm here on behalf of my daughter, who couldn't be here today because her grandson and her were in the ER today, but I'll show you his picture. His picture is Grayson right there, and you can see him. See his big old smile right there. He's who we're talking about today, and I'm going to read her testimony as if I were her. She says, "My son Grayson is 10 years old and lives with a rare terminal neurological disease called Krabbe leukodystrophy. Idaho does not test newborns for this disease. If it did, his life would have looked very different. With treatment at birth, children have the possibility of living near normal to normal lives. We did not get that opportunity. What we did get was a diagnosis that came too late and a promise we made to Grayson that we would give him the best possible quality of life for as long as he is here. Grayson is 100% dependent on others for every aspect of his care. When he was diagnosed, we were told he would likely not live past the age of 2. Today, he's 10 years old. He's here because of medical care, therapies, and the Medicaid services that support his life every day. Medicaid has given us the ability to care for Grayson at home and keep him out of the hospital. He requires 24/7 care, medical care, and nursing support. We use medical equipment daily to clear his lungs and prevent pneumonia. He has a stander that supports his body in more ways than I can count. He has a walker that allows him to move his legs and experience what it feels like to walk like other children. These are not luxuries. These are necessities that keep him safe, comfortable, and alive. He cannot move much, cannot talk much, but he can communicate. That is because of therapy. And I'll just read this last paragraph. As a single mother of a medically fragile child who relies completely on Medicaid, proposed cuts to these services are terrifying. Medicaid is not extra support for Grayson. It is what keeps him alive. It's what keeps him out of the hospital. It's what allows him to be cared for safely at home, surrounded by people who love him. Reducing or removing these services would directly impact his health, his safety, and his quality of life. When you make decisions about Medicaid, you're not deciding about numbers on a page. You're deciding about children like my son. Please see Grayson. Please see families like mine. Please understand these services are not optional. They are essential. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have Dave. Thank you so much, David. David's on his way down. Terry Waltman is after that. And then Robert Thacker after that. Good job. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. My name is David Kirkemo, and I'm a person in long-term recovery. Man, this warms my heart to see so many people here, and, you know, it's amazing. You are all amazing. 3 years ago, I was homeless, you know, living on the streets, you know, caught in addiction. And, you know, I was able to go into a recovery treatment center. And it was the first time that I ever felt welcome. I mean, I've been to prison. I've done 9.5 years in the penitentiary and different programs and things like that, but I never felt a part of something. You know, it's the programs like that that were set in place that gave me a chance. You know, today I'm a student at TBCC, Phi Theta Kappa. I'm doing my internship and in addiction studies, but you know, with these cuts, it's taken away my job. You know, any chance of something that I thought I was going to have. You know. And on another front, you know, my girlfriend, she's an occupational therapist, and she couldn't be here today because she's busy. But she has to take cuts as well, you know, to keep the doors open. And I see it, and I see it in her face, in her eyes when she has to turn kids away, and the waiting list and things like that to even get kids in the door. But, you know, it's the cuts that we're making are people that are hands-on. You know, it's why is it cuts to people that are hands-on? Why aren't there other places to make these cuts? You know, so, you know, I thank you for your time, and I appreciate everyone here. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Congratulations. Good job. That was wonderful. Okay. And now we're going to Terry Waltman. Is Terry here? Representative Egbert, thank you so much for being here. I know everybody is like, we're running like everywhere. Is Terry Waltman here? Robert Thacker? Do I have Robert? Is it Robert? Okay, Robert, come on down. After Robert will be Tao Taylor from, yeah, Tao Taylor. Okay, go. You're up. You got your 2 minutes.
I'm on? Okay. Can you hear me?
Bless you. Yes.
Okay. I'm here on behalf of my wife. She's in a memory care facility.
Yeah.
She's been there for a year now because I couldn't handle her, and my daughter couldn't, and my son couldn't, and so that was the best place for her. And she had hip surgery, and the doctor said the hip was probably making her agitated and wanted to lash out at everybody. And I have to, she won't let them bathe her at the facility, so I had to go over there and do it. And she'll say, yes, she can. She do it, but she can't bend over and get her feet, leg down in the bottom. And the doctor said that I'm going to have to be the bad guy to tell her that she can't come home because she wants to come home every day. Yeah.
You're doing great.
That's it.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Bless you. Good work. Lots of great support there. Tao Taylor. And after Tao is Kevin Moxley. After Kevin Moxley, Laniel Creek or Crick. Here we go. And then after Laniel is Tammy from Boise. Could be a number of you. Okay, who do we have here? Go ahead.
Kevin Moxley.
Oh,
Kevin Moxley, Kimberly, District 24. I personally don't use these services, but I support them 100%. When I was a kid, I grew up in a very large family, and as the attorney was saying, this gets people through joblessness here and there. I have 4 younger brothers and an older sister, and there were times where we would not have had health care if it weren't for Medicaid. And I was unaware that Medicaid covers what it does. It's fantastic what it does, and we cannot afford to cut these services to people. So I know that everybody up here supports maintaining these spending levels. From District 24, you can let the people that are trying to push for these cuts know that we disagree.
thank you. Thank you so much. Here we go. Great. And
Hello, my name is Laniel Crake.
Yay.
My daughter is a full-time wheelchair user. She is 12 years old. Without therapies to get her through her life, we can't reach her goals. We want a happy, well-adjusted child who is independent as much as possible. Obviously, she has medical needs. She's going to need those in-home cares. But that doesn't mean that she can't get a job. She can't volunteer in the community. If we cut those therapies, she won't be able to. She can't contribute to society as much as she should. Right now, I have a middle school cheerleader. I have a Girl Scout. I have a 4-H member who will soon be in FFA. So don't tell me she's not a contributing part of the society. When you cut these things like therapy, that doesn't mean that my daughter won't get them. It means we are paying out of our pocket for them, which means I can't afford that cheerleading costume anymore. I can't afford her 4-H goat anymore. So cutting Medicaid services decreases her quality of life. It decreases her involvement, which is huge to her psyche.
Yes.
And we got to be a part of that family services where parents were paid for just a short time. It was amazing. It relieved a ton of stress. When you reduce services, you increase stress, not only for her, but for her family. You know, people talk about those sleepless nights. having to go and get that job that, guess what? There's not many school hour time jobs that you can find that also don't require you to work on the weekends. So, or they don't care that your kid's in the hospital, they have to have somebody there, so now you no longer have a job. Yeah. It's hard to keep those. Having the families being able paid to take care of their kids, it makes it so that we can be there, we can be present. We are not stressed beyond belief. When we're stressed, we can't physically provide the services that they need.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing.
This is for...
Thank you. Good work.
Melissa, may I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
I really, what you just shared with us resonates with me. My brother had Duchenne's muscular dystrophy when I grew up, and we relied on Medicaid in my family. And one of the things that was amazing about his life is because we had those services, it meant that we all got to have more normal lives, including me as a little sister to somebody who was so ill. And it meant that people got to be with my brother Ollie in community, which you just shared about. It's so important that we see and know everyone in our communities, and these essential services help us be able to do that. And I just want to honor those two things as well.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Good job. Okay, is Tammy from Boise out there? All right, here comes Tammy. After Tammy is Megan Royce. And after Megan will be Matt. It's K-N-O-P-P. It could be Knopp or Knop. So be on the lookout there. Go.
Thank you so much. I'm actually quite shocked I got picked, but very excited. I'm here from North End, Boise. I'm a new Boisean, and for 2 years. I also work at Roots with Chelsea Cox, and Chance is one of the participants that I work with. Oh, good. And so we're here today with family members of our participants, other staff members. Gosh, I hope I can do this without crying. And what I experience every single day are miracles. Miracles in these people who have been displaced in institutions, in jails, in hospitals. And now they're living lives of independence. And they get 24 hours support and care to be able to do things that represent an independent life. And I know that there's so many questions in what is real and legitimate in Medicaid. And I can say with every bit of my soul and heart that this is a legitimate need. And if things are cut, and I know you are not the ones here, and thank you for giving us a platform to beg for there not to be any cuts. Speaking from an employee for Chelsea, this isn't about her creating business to get rich. She created a business because she has her own handicapped child that she knew was going to need services one day. Okay, and so this is about me and the other people that are staff members are doing this because we really care and we really love other human beings. And so I just hope that you can see that if these cuts are made, and that you could represent to the people that are allowed to make the cuts. If these cuts are made, these services are not going to be available. The cuts that might seem like nothing are huge. I want to get something in everybody's head. And if you can pass this on to the people that matter, we want you guys to save lives, not money. This is about saving lives, not money.
Good job. Good job. Is Megan Royce here? And after Megan is Matt Knop from Twin Falls. And then Jim Baugh. Jim, where are you? I haven't seen you in bless you. I'm so happy to see you. Okay, here we go. And this is Megan. Good.
I'm Megan Royce. I need a service job coach to help me in my job. I work at the dog pound and I like it, and I don't want to lose my job.
Good.
Yeah.
Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Is Matt Knopp and then Jim Baugh, you're on deck, so go ahead and start making your way. After Jim is Debbie Johnson. Okay, welcome.
Hello, my name is Matthew Knopp. I'm from Twin Falls, Idaho. I'm representing for me and all staff and patients of CIL, Center of Independent Living. I can't lose my Medicaid because I tried working and it doesn't work for me because of my disabilities. I have seizures and I can't just pay for my medicine. It costs thousands, so taking away my Medicaid is basically killing me. Now, talking about the independent living and nursing homes, they are both completely different. Nursing homes and group homes just do things for you and tell you what you can and can't do, while independent living is completely different. We get 24-hour staff that help us learn how to take care of ourselves and learn how to cook for ourselves always. Make sure we take our meds on time and making sure that we keep up on our laundry with help. They don't do it for us. They help us and will try to prompt us to try and do it ourselves and help if we can do it ourselves. Independent living helps in ways the group homes and nursing homes can't. If you take this away, you won't be ruining my life, but lots of others too. Now about hospital bills and Medicaid bills. I've been to the hospital thousands of times, and I can't pay for something so expensive. Lots of people that are on Medicaid can't pay for that kind of thing. Why do you think we are on Medicaid? It's to help the disabled people that don't have the ability to work. Now about my background, I have been.
Do you want to finish up? Do you have a little bit more?
I don't have much left.
Okay, go. You got it. Yeah, you're doing great.
I have been through a lot in my past 8 years. I was extremely abused physically and mentally, and thanks to that, I have very bad trauma and anxiety. So I go to counseling which helps, and counseling is something I can't handle having taken away from me, because losing Medicaid means I won't be able to go to counseling anymore. Now, lastly, Social Security income, which is about $950 that I earn a month, and it's about roughly $700 a month. If you take this Medicaid away from being with independent living, will basically be homeless, especially me, because there is no way I can pay to be in a nursing home or group home, because each one costs way more than what my Social Security income offers me. So make sure while you read this, or I read it to you, how badly it can affect not just me, but hundreds of other people as well if you go through with taking Medicaid off of certain things, especially things that we really need and can't live without.
Good job. Thank you. Matthew? And Matthew, if you want to leave your statement up here at the basket, that'd be awesome. Welcome, Jim. After Jim is Debbie Johnson, and then Martha Gilgan, maybe? Martha Gilgan? Go ahead, Jim.
My name is Jim Baugh. I live in Boise.
Everybody knows Jim.
I'm a retired disability rights attorney. My son is 53 years old. His name is Gabriel. He lives with my wife and I. He is a very happy, friendly person who loves life. He has many disabilities. He is paralyzed from the neck down. He cannot breathe without being connected to a ventilator. He eats through a gastric tube, and he needs 24-hour care to stay alive. He would literally not be alive if he were not getting services. It would take less than 24 hours for him to be in a crisis that would probably not result in his surviving. In addition to the fact that it is simply unconscionable and unthinkable to stop the services that sustain his life, there are practical reasons and legal reasons not to do so. First of all, home and community-based services it may say that it's optional in the Medicaid statute, but it is mandatory under the United States Supreme Court decision in Olmstead versus LC. Secondly, HCBS waivers are only approved if the state can prove to the feds that they will save Medicaid money. You can't have a waiver unless you prove that it's saving money. Idaho does not have the institutional capacity to serve the people who are getting HCBS right now. My son would require care in a long-term acute care facility or an intensive care unit in a hospital. There aren't openings in LTACs, so we don't have anywhere for people to go when these services get reduced or eliminated. Idaho is bound by a consent decree and an active federal class action suit on HCBS services right now. If the money is withdrawn, the rules of the consent decree go away. The case returns to active status.
Go ahead and finish up your thought, Jim. Go.
So, and finally, Idaho is currently bound by a compliance letter from the U.S. Department of Justice. That is an active case, has not gone away. We are still in the process of trying to demonstrate that we have an adequate number of home and community-based services waivers. The Department of Justice found that our home and community-based service waivers under the A&D waiver are inadequate under Olmstead versus LC. So cutting the services simply takes us further into the range of non-compliance.
Thank you.
Thank
Jim,
you very much.
Thank you. And hold on. It's good to have Jim here as an attorney to say again, not just that these are services that are humane and help people, but they're legally obligated, right? And Senator Ward Engelking and I and JFAC actually brought up that Olmstead case and really challenged folks on that. So I really appreciate all the advocates that are putting that in our laps. So thank you. So Debbie Johnson is Debbie. And then after Debbie is Martha Gilgan. And after Martha is Eppa McFarlane. I'm just so sorry if I get those wrong. Go.
Good afternoon. My name is Debbie Johnson, and I am here to speak about the HCBS waiver cuts on behalf of my 45-year-old daughter, Lindsay. To be eligible for the HCBS waiver, individuals must meet the requirements for institutional care. These are Idahoans with the most intense needs. Our beautiful daughter, Lindsay, is one of them. She's a seventh-generation Idahoan who is born with Crete-Shaw syndrome, leaving her with the functional capacity of a 3-year-old and no verbal communication. Her daily life is marked by violent behavioral outbursts that threaten her safety and the safety of others around her. She requires intensive 24-hour support and expensive psychotropic medications. Her condition is further complicated by chronic dental issues that require hospitalization for treatment and typical dental care. Lindsay has lived in our family home since birth, but as she ages, her outbursts are increasing both in frequency and intensity. Currently, her father and I are the only caregivers capable of managing these crises on an ongoing basis. However, at 70 years old, we are reaching the limits of our physical ability to provide this level of care. We have tried to find support workers, but they are scared away by her aggression, and we have been barred from day programs due to safety concerns. Currently, we're the only ones standing between Lindsay and an intermediate care facility for individuals with disabilities. In our proactive approach for future options, we have found that ICFs currently have zero availability and no existing waiting lists. If our HCBS supports are removed, we are faced with a terrifying reality. The only alternative is an ICF placement that doesn't exist, which, if a bed were found, would cost the state approximately triple the cost of her HCBS services. Our priority is ensuring Lindsay lives in an environment designed by safety and respect. But without the HCBS waiver, Idahoans' most vulnerable citizens and their aging parents are being left with no viable path forward. Without robust support and a sustainable direct care workforce, families like ours are being pushed to a breaking point with no safety net in sight. By prioritizing and fully funding HCBS, the state realizes millions of dollars in savings which uphold the rights and dignity of our citizens. Thank you for our time.
Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being here. Okay, is it Martha? Here come Martha. After Martha is Eppa McFarland, and then Jenny, is it Franco or Franco? Franco. Oh, okay. If you want to.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you all for scheduling this listening session. It's an inspiration to me to listen to all these stories as well, and so I hope it is to you. And picture's worth 1,000 words, and so here's my son. This is Mr. Lynn Gilgan, and he's 47 years old, and he has significant disabilities. And my name is Martha Gilgan, I forgot to tell you that, and I live here in Boise. Lynn lives with Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, which is a rare and severe form of epilepsy and moderate cognitive impairment. After decades of uncontrolled seizures and long-term medication use, Lynn has lost most of his functional capacity and has developed additional medical conditions. He requires 24-hour care, 7 days a week, and since 2013, he uses a wheelchair, which ended up requiring us to find another living situation than our own home because we could no longer accommodate his needs within our own home. By any measure, Lynn is severely disabled and medically fragile. He is also optimistic, outgoing, and determined to live life with dignity and purpose. He is an Idaho voter, your constituent, and an active member of his community. Like many Idahoans with disabilities, Lynn wants to live in his own home and has since 2013. He currently receives HCBS Medicaid waivered services through Idaho Self-Direction, which includes community support workers and nursing visits. These services make it possible for him to live independently at home and stay engaged in his community. In Idaho, HCBS is the only option that allows people with significant disabilities to make choices about the supports they need to live independently. Without HCBS, people like Lynn would be forced into institutional settings that are more restrictive, less humane, and far more expensive. Since Lynn began receiving services through HCBS in 2014, his health has remained stable. I'm almost done. As Lynn's guardian and parent, I hire and train and supervise his care providers. So it's not without our own work that we're doing this through self-direction. There's no other care setting that allows this level of involvement and oversight. Without HCBS, I fear for my son's health and safety. Balancing the budget on the backs of Idaho's most vulnerable citizens is wrong. That is not the Idaho way. I urge you to protect and fully fund home and community-based citizens services so that Idahoans with disabilities and older adults can continue to live safely and independently with dignity in their own homes. Amen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Okay, is Eppa here? Eppa McFarland, and then Jenny Franco is on deck. Here comes Eppa, then Jenny, and then after Jenny is Kalika Peterson. Go.
Hello. Good evening, members of the committee and those joining tonight in solidarity. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with all of you. My name is Eppa McFarland, and I live in Eagle. When my youngest child, Elio, was in kindergarten, their teacher, Ms. Hassikas, pulled their dad and I aside after their first day. She told us that Elio would learn differently. We didn't know what that would look like, but we were fortunate to have community support us with getting Elio access to the resources they would need to learn. We all learned differently. For Elio, that was speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and time spent giving focus to their specific learning ability. Elio is autistic and struggles with social anxiety. Without access to the DD waiver giving me the ability to be at home with them in their adult life, they would be left isolated and not be a part of a society. As their mother, I know how they learn. I have spent the last 21 years getting to know them. To ask a stranger to take my place would be impossible and unfair and unjust to Elio, and the person being asked to fill the shoes of someone more qualified to take care of Elio. My Nan had 2 kids in the 40s who were institutionalized and passed away. One in their teens, the other in their early 20s. My family knows the direct fatal impact of institutions. I hope that all the stories shared here tonight are not only heard but felt. That for a moment we put ourselves in the shoes of our neighbors, the shoes of those in need of community. We are all one horrible life experience away from needing these services. Sorry, everyone.
You're good.
We have an opportunity to work together to make sure that all people get access to adequate health care. It is never too late to make choices that encompasses all of humanity. Only when the world ends and humans cease to exist will we have lost that opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Okay, and is it Jenny Franco is next. And after Jenny is Mary Smith. And after Mary Smith is Doug Loescher? Maybe Doug Loescher. That might be it. And I am going to take a little break, and Representative Rubel is going to take over as chair because we all have to take care of our basic needs, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I know that you guys are on the Medicaid, Medicare side, so I'm kind of directing this to Governor Little, I can't say his name, Rich, those people. I'm Jenny, and I'm here and I'm alive because of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. I have been diabetic since the age of 8, and I've struggled most of my life living with it. I was on dialysis for 4.5 years due to kidney failure from juvenile diabetes. Obamacare allowed me to receive a kidney donation treatment. I actually got the new kidney February 1st, 2025, and that's because of the Affordable Care Act. It was stated up here that you were more interested in institutional type deals. I've been in and out of hospitals all my life with this diabetes, and it sucks. From the age of 8 till now, 56. So, yeah. All I can say is that if people's worth and value as human beings is not contingent on how the ability of their work, we are worthy of love, safety, and security, housing, and affordable care. If as a society we cannot provide health care, safety, security, and love to those in need, then you're saying, Governor Little, that not everybody's worthy of that. And that's barbaric. We are worthy, and we're not numbers and we're not money, and we all know that. So remember, we are the people. In 2018, we voted for Medicaid, Medicare, and it was a landslide at 61%. Governor Little and his people held that up in the courts for quite a while, and now they're doing it again. We are the people. We are the people, so fight for it.
Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Next up, we have Mary Smith from, I believe, Idaho Falls. Mary, hi. Thanks for coming this long way.
Hi there, and thanks for allowing this opportunity for all of us. My name is Mary Smith, and I'm the administrator of Lemhi Valley Social Services in Lemhi County. Lemhi County is 4,500 square miles, and it has 8,400 residents. 16% of those are living under the poverty rate. We serve Salmon, Chalice, Leadore, North Fork, Gibbonsville, and all of the people that have moved out into the hills in the rural community. On a monthly basis, we serve 300 people, 100 children, 200 adults, and half of those have substance abuse issues. 90% of those we serve are on Medicaid. We provide individual therapy, couples therapy, domestic violence, substance abuse, recovery. We work in the schools. We provide community and services in the community and in person's home. We work closely with the drug court in Lemhi County and health and welfare. In Salmon, we do not have a crisis center, we do not have a behavioral health beds. If we reduce funding, the services will automatically be reduced. Before, when we have people in crises, it takes police officers off the streets to take them to Idaho Falls, which is the closest service for behavioral health and crises, which is 200 miles away. We have, in our agency, we've worked with these folks for a long time. We've reduced hospitalizations. We've got boots on the ground. We are with them in the community. We go to the schools with kids so they can get an education. We just do so much for them. 2 days ago, Robert F. Kennedy talked about putting in $1 billion for mental health and other healthcare services. And I just want to quote what he said. "This is a package that can help families get help before a crisis begins, an ER visit, an arrest, or a child welfare case." And I just want you to know that mental health agencies work so hard to provide the best services to their clients to get them into recovery and a better quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mary. We're going to jump. I understand there's someone who has to leave, so if we can bring up Samantha Robles. Come on.
First of all, before I start this, I want to say how incredibly proud I am of all of you. This is a huge thing for us to do, and I'm so proud of you. You too, girl.
And my understanding is there are 3 overflow rooms.
Okay, I'll get through this fast. My name is Samantha Robles, and you won't forget my name. I am a parent, a born and raised Boise, Idahoan, for 33 years now. And my daughter Stella is 5 years old. She is level 3 autistic with significant sensory processing challenges. This means she struggles with day-to-day sensory input in her everyday environments. A loud scream, the heat, or even certain textures can turn an ordinary event into one that is induced by fear and anxiety around her. Every therapy session, every doctor's visit, every milestone she reaches is supported by service made through Medicaid and related supports. Cutting these vital services isn't just a policy change, it's a setback in her life and the lives of thousands of Idahoans. Idaho is fortunate enough to have substantial reserves, what we call a rainy day fund. Those are worth $880 million. We also have $1.3 billion in total reserves across stabilization accounts in our state. Why are we not dipping into that? Why does my daughter have to pay the price because the budget couldn't be balanced appropriately? The rainy day fund is not to sit untouched while families suffer. It is to be used responsibly to stabilize our state budget in times of need. I don't want to ramble. Our economy and our communities are stronger when every child, every adult, every neighbor has access to healthcare, education, and dignity. I urge you as stewards of Idaho's future, do what is physically responsible and morally responsible. Protect Medicaid, protect our vulnerable populations. For Stella and every Idahoan counting on care they cannot afford without, please choose compassion, support, and strength. Again, my name is Samantha, and as long as I am up here fighting for these beautiful souls, you will not forget my name. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Samantha. And I think you all know we are all, as Melissa said, on the side of no cuts, but we will very much carry your message and your advocacy to our colleagues who are maybe not quite where we are yet. Doug Lurcher.
My name is Doug Lurcher, and I come from Bannock County, just 28. And I own a mental health agency called Star Family Behavioral Health. I also identify as a fiscally conservative individual, and so I can appreciate the dilemma that you have. And I just want to add my voice that the Home and Community Services is actually the solution, not the area to cut. A couple of examples. 6 months ago, a 10-year-old young man was referred to our company for services. His first time in the door, he came in, he was yelling, he knocked things over, he kicked over the garbage can. He had been involved with the police before. His parents were at wit's end. 6 months in our program, receiving community-based services. Yesterday, he helped our emergency administrator take the garbage out to the dumpster. He comes in there willingly. He gets along with everybody. 6 months is not always the success story, but it is making a difference in his life. Opposite story. One of my key employees has a brother who's 40 years old who also struggles with mental health issues. He was involved with another program's ACT team and was doing well. Because of the 4% holdbacks, that program went away. And within a week, he was in the hospital. And he is now in State Hospital South. He's been there since December 6th. Clearly not saving any money in that case. As has been already stated, Idaho was smart enough during the 7 years of plenty to put some money away. Using that money now is not a failure. It's just using the plan that you had the foresight to do. So I would encourage you to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Before you go, are you any relation to Representative Tom Lurcher? Oh, we lost him. All right. We have Ania Salim. And on deck after Ania, we have Jeremy Bailey and Bill Burns. So get ready.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, esteemed senators and representatives, for being here. We really, really appreciate this opportunity to speak and to be heard. I am a Medicaid success story. The year after they decided to start using the A&D waiver, I broke my neck and back in a car accident. And they asked my parents where they were going to place me. Here, I'm going to turn around. I just can't get it through, so. There we go. Excuse my back legislation. Please excuse me. Anyway, I'm a Medicaid success story. The legislative session right before I broke my neck in a car accident, they started using the A&D waiver. So after I broke my neck, my mother was asked where were they going to place me in an institution that could have been, a nursing home most likely, or something of that nature. But, if anybody knows my family, my mom said, I'm taking my baby home. Okay, and so it was nice, and she didn't care who was going to pay for it, but my mother was going to, even if she had to lose her job. My father had to lose her job, we had to lose our house and become homeless. I was going to stay at least in the home until then. But luckily, we were able to use the A&D waiver. And because of that, I went back to high school. I started college before I graduated high school. I went into music, voice, and theory at Boise State University. I had the opportunity to write for the Idaho Statesman on wheelchair accessibility at public places. I was the editor-in-chief of a magazine online for disabled people, and I've lived a very happy life. I went back for linguistics and anthropology at Boise State University. Ahora habla español muy malo, pero un poquito. And also, je parle français très bien maintenant, So I have worked for the Parks and Recs, making sure that the ADA was being implemented in the state, and have been a productive member of society, paying taxes, and all while having the A&D waiver to support my lifestyle and support my life. And now it's all going down the drain because the A&D waiver is on a chopping block. And I've been so privileged. I have so much privilege over so many, and I acknowledge that. But I really would like to see those who are in my situation not be cast off by the wayside, not be made to be institutionalized, even though we don't need institutionalization. And all because to balance a budget that should be done already. Lastly, I would just simply like to say Matthew 35. Matthew 35.
Yeah.
Or 25, 35 to 36. Look it up.
Thank you. Thank you, Nia. Next we have Jeremy Bailey. Jeremy Bailey. There you are. Hi, Jeremy.
Hi, my name's Jeremy Bailey. I'm from Boise. I currently, right now, I'm a peer support specialist for the youth, adults, also part of the refugee community, recovery coach. We work with a vast number of people. One thing I heard earlier is they wanted to know what it looks like when the funding is already taken. I can tell you exactly what that looks like. I'm somebody myself that lives with severe complex PTSD. I had an entire team to put me back together, and I was very fortunate for that. Well, now some of the folks that I've had on my caseload before, they don't get it anymore. So to sit in on a phone and listen to a vet crying and begging for you to tell them to not kill themselves, sit with a mother that doesn't know what to do with the child that had the services cut, have a dad just break down all the time to talk and talk and talk to try to understand what to do with their elderly parent that no longer qualifies for Medicaid. And we do this every day. I mean, we're at the brink now where we're working close to 7 days a week, almost 70 hours a week at the time, and and it's not about the money, but we're looking at a 32 to 33 hour paycheck, and we're working double that. We sit with these folks day in and day out, talking about their problems, talking about what they've been through, and then to watch them go from where they feel like they're a nobody to somebody to where they're thriving. Services are cut, now I got to go visit them down at a homeless shelter. Yeah, that's what these cuts have done already, and they're just wanting to take more and more and more and more and more. It's got to stop at some point in time. I mean, you look out in the public and all they see is dollar signs. That's a dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar. That's people. That's human beings. And we have a moral obligation to take care of these folks that have no voice anymore. We got to be the voice of the voiceless.
That's what we're here for today. Bill Burns. Thank you very much, Jeremy. Bill Burns. Is Bill Burns here? And then on deck we have Jessica Godsill.
Hello, my name is Bill Burns. I live here in Boise. I'm here to advocate for Medicaid, no cuts, if anything, improve Medicaid, and to tell my daughter's story. And hers is, I would say, a Medicaid success story. In the spring of 2023, Victoria traveled to Berlin, Germany to take a German language course in preparation for grad school. Instead, although she was vaccinated against COVID, she came down with COVID. And COVID triggered a rare disease that no one knew she had. And that disease left her completely paralyzed and dependent on a respirator to breathe. Her mother and I flew to Berlin to be with her, and we had to communicate with her using an alphabet chart and her blinking to spell out what she wanted to communicate. It took a month in the ICU to determine she had this rare disease, porphyria. Porphyria is a disease that attacks the nervous system and the musculatory system, hence the paralysis and the inability to breathe. After a month of treatment there, she finally was able to be approved to fly back to Boise on an air ambulance. She was admitted to Vibra Critical Care Hospital here in Boise, weighing 75 pounds. And after a couple months of treatment at Vibra, she was worked off of the respirator and able to start breathing on her own again. After a couple months of treatment at Vibra, she slowly recovered enough to be transferred to St. Luke's Rehabilitation Hospital for inpatient treatment. There she underwent physical, occupational, and speech therapy in attempts to gain what she had lost. She could not speak, she couldn't walk, she couldn't do anything. So she had to take all this treatment. I had insurance on both of us, and insurance would cover 60 visits to rehabilitation care. And after 60 months, you were on your own. Thank goodness for Medicaid. After the insurance ran out, we signed her up for disability with Social Security, who then turned us over to Medicaid. She was approved eventually. Her treatment took over 2 years to allow her to regain functionality. The success is that today she's back in Berlin, Germany, and she's in grad school. She's still disabled, still has some issues, but hers is a Medicaid success story. And we are so thankful that Medicare was there for her, and thankful that it was there for us, else we would have had some serious financial difficulties. But we also want to advocate for everyone, all the people in this room who require Medicaid to maintain a functional lifestyle. Medicaid is not a luxury, it's not an option, it's a necessity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Senator Ward Engelking.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to say to you, you have an amazing daughter. Victoria was my intern last year, and she is absolutely just amazing. And sounds like she may be heading to Columbia University for a dual master's degree. So proud of her.
That's incredible. Thank you so much. Next we have Jessica Godsill. And I'm gonna maybe have to be a little stricter on the time because I think we still have like 100 people to get through, and it's gonna be a challenge, but we really want to hear from you all. Jessica, fire away.
Hello.
And next on deck we have Jennifer Loves.
I would like to introduce you to Liam. He's a fifth-generation Idahoan, the first in our family to be born with a disability, but the first in the world with his diagnosis. Simply, he's missing a piece of chromosome 14. This has caused contractures, hardening of the tendons and tissues in his fingers and toes. His major issue is severe hypotonia, extremely low muscle tone. It affects everything from his vision, swallowing, breathing, digestion, and so much more. It requires lifelong intensive therapies to manage. This has caused Liam to struggle his whole life to do the simplest things. He needs physical, occupational, speech, and feeding therapy to work on gaining strength, fine motor control, and daily functioning skills. It took a year before he could move his own head, 18 months before we could work on sitting up. He is now 8 years old, and we are still working to get the strength and coordination to feed himself, brush his teeth, to stand up, and to walk. Liam has needed and continues to need assistance for everything. He's had 12 life-saving surgeries, and fortunately, more to go. These are possible because of Medicaid. All of his adaptive equipment, besides that wheelchair, is because of Medicaid. His specialist in Utah is because of Medicaid. All of his medical supplies he needs every month to survive is because of Medicaid. Liam does have private insurance. I am a single mom for 3 years now, juggling 2 late-night jobs on top of being his full-time caregiver just to make sure he is double insured, that I can also afford his basic necessities because we lost the FPCS program. To say that I have put a lot of strain on myself and I'm exhausted is an understatement. But all the services, like in-home caregiving, is possible because of Medicaid. Despite private insurance denying everything, Liam will lose support of Medicaid, and therefore I will no longer have in-home caregiving, and therefore I will not be able to keep my 2 jobs. How will I be able to afford his medical supplies, like the feeding tubes he needs to survive, the oxygen machine he needs at night to breathe, the life-saving surgeries he still has? These therapies, doctor's appointments are necessary for my son's life, and he deserves more. No budgeting should ever be more important than a child's life. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. Can I, before you go, can we get your email if you have it on the form? Because as I said, I need you for the FPCS bill. So we need to keep in touch because we need you to testify for that.
I would love to.
Madam Chair, and just for a comment, I am just so impressed by so many parents who have spent so much time taking care of these kids, and I just want to applaud all the parents who,
we do have a room full of heroes.
Angels. They're real angels.
Next we have Jennifer Loves.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Loves.
I'm shorter. My name is Jennifer Loves, and I live in McCall, Idaho, and this is my adult daughter, Annabelle Green, who also lives in McCall, Idaho, Valley County, District 8. And in Valley County, we have a really strong, close-knit special needs community. I was born and raised in Boise, Idaho, and my grandmother worked as a mail clerk in the basement of the legislature here, so I spent my childhood running around. So I'm 24 years into caring for special needs, special abilities, human. I made a couple footnotes, but I am improving this, and I do feel like our elected officials, our public servants need to be open-minded with a growth and abundance mindset. We should be talking about how we can grow our programs, pay our caregivers a living wage, and better serve our special abilities and vulnerable community members, not cut. And if we do need to cut, it should be coming from the bureaucracy, from the administrative side. And out of everything in the state of Idaho, there are other places that we can cut. Annabelle currently is on the self-directed program, which I do feel is a very fiscally responsible program. I am her community support worker. Her stepfather is her community support worker, and her 19-year-old brother is her community support worker. And between the three of us, we keep Annabelle staffed 24 hours a day, and we all take turns working, we all take turns sleeping, and we work as a united family to be able to care for her. Parents are essential to keeping our family members that are institutionalized care home safe.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Next we have Lindsay Andrews, and then on deck we have Michelle Lance, I believe from Pocatello. Do we have Lindsay here? Is Lindsay Enzers? Is Lindsay Enzers? Oh, perhaps it was in the other overflow room. Is that Lindsay coming in? Hi, okay, come on down to the podium.
Hello, I'm Lindsay Andrews, and you'll have to pardon me. I've done nothing but cry for weeks.
Yeah, that's right there if you need.
Thank you. So I'm an Idaho resident. I'm a special education teacher, and I have 2 adult children with disabilities. And this is Natalie. She was born at 25 weeks and weighed 14 ounces. And so Natalie's a Spitfire. Her personality's way too big for her little body. She likes Pinocchio, Toy Story. She thinks she's 10 feet tall and in charge of everything. She likes hot tubbing, dressing up. And everything Natalie's been able to do has had to be directly taught. And she's worked so hard for everything she can do. She can get in and out of cars, help get in and out of the bathtub. And she can text and write messages. Her teachers have taught her that so she can communicate with us. But everything she has learned how to do has been funded through Medicaid, and we are so grateful. And so Natalie's now aged out of the school system. And when she hit young adulthood, hormones and growth has made it so hard. She's had behaviors for 2 years where we haven't been able to function. She became aggressive toward herself and others, and it's taken years of medications and developmental therapy and the adult DD waiver to get us through this. And she's now starting to become more like herself again and being happy. It's taken so much work and funding through Medicaid, and we're so grateful for it. It hasn't been extra, it's been a necessity for us. And my husband and I have been married for 24 years, and we both work full-time. And we don't travel, we don't do expensive hobbies. But there's no adult care for people like Natalie. And these Medicaid cuts would cost us everything, and our home and our way of life. And we've both worked so hard for so long. And we just want her to be with us and part of our family, but we need help. And I want to be proud of Idaho again. We're a pro-life state, and we need to take care of those who can't care for themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And next, we have Michelle Lance. And then on deck, we have Laura Scurry. If you're in an overflow room, make sure you're nearby.
Hi, my name's Michelle Lance. Excuse me. I'm a speech therapist, and I also own a private practice in Pocatello, which I opened to serve a subset population of pediatric swallowing disorders. Thank you so much for having this forum. The fear and the panic is physically felt. I would like to address the Medicaid cuts and the proposal to eliminate private practice in the realm of providers on the table. I come here tonight speaking for a village of private practices, clinic owners, women, small businesses, therapists, and a handful of the most unique humans on the planet. Keats, Everly, Lise, Hallie, Koa, Julia. Peter, Andrew, Keaton, Bridger, Parker, Katie, and so many others who can't speak on their behalf and rely on all of us, including JFAC, to help them navigate the developmental and genetic barriers they did not choose. On behalf of all of them, and not here listening, I'm begging and pleading for JFAC to hold an open meeting and listen to our proposals, solutions, because no one knows better than those being affected. My families are frightened for basic survival rights for their children and having the choice to choose who works with their child and not be forced to use who the government deems cheaper. This will be devastating and catastrophic at best. Kids will die. Small businesses, the pride of Idaho, will close under the very government that encouraged us to open them. The most diversified and subspecialty OTs, PTs, and speech therapists, pediatricians will move to other states, and Idaho will suffer. Respectfully, JFAC needs to hear from the people that the decisions affect. JFAC should not cut funding for Medicaid on Friday, but support essential life-preserving services. Budgets should support the elderly and vulnerable first. They are solutions including the rainy day fund. These are rash decisions that will have ripple effects in our state. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Laura Scurry, and then I think we'll jump from there to Kalika Peterson. So be prepared, Kalika, if you're here. Thanks, Laura. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Laura Scurry. I have been involved in the behavioral health realm since 1992. I currently own Access Behavioral Health, and I represent... Hi, guys. These are my people. I am involved at a policy level in every board I can find. If I say no, it's because I'm dying. I've been an advocate for behavioral health services since 1992, and I am dying today. The amount of emotion and the vibe in this room is magical. I want to thank you all, every one of you, including Representative Birch, I live with you. I want to thank you all for the work that you've been doing. I didn't understand. I've been doing this a long time. I've been legislating a long time, and I didn't get it. I get it. I get it a little bit better. Please continue to fight for us. Please continue to explain humanity to people that need that explanation. And please continue to reach out to those of us in this community, this amazing community. Please continue to reach out to us for information. Use us the way you need us so that you can be successful in this fight. And I don't have thanks enough today, and I've cried like 4 times, so no more. But I want to thank you individually, independently. I've emailed you to death. I have an ACT team. I just want to thank you for the work that you're doing, and I want you to know that we see you, and you will reap the rewards of it someday. Because these guys have karma.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, we have Kalika Peterson. And on deck, we'll have Erin Patron. Do we have Kalika here? Here she comes. And then Erin, be prepared.
Hi, so my name is Kalika Peterson. Excuse the shakiness in my voice, it's just nerves. Thank you. I was born and raised in rural Idaho, and I have a deep love for the state and a sincere desire for everyone within our borders to be able to live a happy and healthy, stable lives. Approximately 19% of Idaho's population relies on Medicaid. I believe everyone knows someone who depends on it. I am going to skip my personal stories because I think there's a lot more personal stories that are more beneficial to hear. But today I would like to speak more on my experience as a social work major here at Boise State University. A profession where the best possible outcome is for me to be out of a job, and it is deeply concerning that the need for social workers is only growing. I've spent years and significant resources learning how essential Medicaid is not only for those enrolled in it, but for our healthcare system as a whole. We learned that when people don't have access to healthcare, they delay care until it becomes an emergency. Emergencies are far more expensive than preventative care. Hospitals are required to treat emergencies regardless of a patient's ability to pay, which leads to financial strains when patients cannot cover their costs. To stay open, hospitals then have 2 choices: raise costs across all insurance plans, increasing premiums statewide, effectively shifting the financial burden onto insured patients and families, or close their doors entirely. More than 20% of Idaho's counties are already considered hospital deserts, meaning residents must drive over 30 minutes to reach the nearest hospital. Many of our remaining hospitals are already struggling. It was recently reported by Idaho News 6 that due to the previous Medicaid and Medicare cuts within the Big Beautiful Bill, 50% of our hospitals are now operating on just a 1% margin, such as Valor Health in Emmett, Idaho, who reports having had negative income the last couple months. Either outcomes, higher healthcare costs for everyone, or the loss of critical hospitals is disastrous for our state. Medicaid is not just a line item in a budget. It is a lifeline for families, children, workers, hospitals, and entire communities. Cutting it out would harm Idaho in ways that we cannot afford. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I want to briefly note that Senator Ruckty has joined us. Senator Ruckty, I don't know if you want to say a quick hello to everybody.
Yes, hello. Sorry, I have a law school class that I helped teach right at the time we were doing this, so I came just as soon as I could, but came down, and it is just astounding how many people have shown up, not just here, but in all the overflow rooms, and we really, really needed to hear from you. I'm going to be doing a similar town hall in Pocatello on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to hearing from my constituents about these issues, so thank you.
And feel free to come again and tell your story again in Pocatello, because that's a whole different audience and media crowd over there. We have so many people left on the list, and we're heading into our last 45 minutes. So I am sorry, but I think we're going to have to start limiting testimony to 1 minute to make sure we can get through as many people as possible. Oh, and it's Senator Blake. Oh, and I understand it's. Oh, pardon me?
I'm actually one of the original writers of the Medicaid expansion.
Okay.
I'm writing out my testimony. I'm here. I'm actually District 19 constituent currently. Was originally District 16.
Okay. Terrific. Terrific.
They have my information.
Okay. Great. Well, we're going to go as fast as we can so we can hopefully get to you and everybody. I also want to do really recognize Senator Camille Blaylock, who has stepped in. And Senator, you're very welcome to come join us up on the dais if you wish. You're welcome to come in. But thank you for coming. So we're resetting the timer so that everybody will have a more limited time because we really want to hear from you all. Erin Patron, I believe, is our next person. And then on deck, we have Alton Urbana. Thank you so much, Erin.
Hi, my name is Aaron. I came here from Twin Falls, and I just wanted to say I think people need to realize that this is our money we're talking about. There is no state of Idaho without the people of Idaho. So when we're talking about the state's budget, we're talking about our budget. It's not about asking and begging for these things. It's about demanding that our money is spent in a way that is productive for us. And furthermore, we have industries like the pharmaceutical industry that extorts these funds by jacking up prices way beyond production, siphoning those funds from the state, and then flipped around on us like we're the ones who are expensive. Healthcare isn't expensive, extortion is expensive. And I just want to end this with saying that our governor, who did not grace us with his presence, is up for re-election in November.
Thank you so much. Next we have Alton. Alton? Is Alton here? Alton? Okay, great. And then on deck, we have Roberta D'Amico, good District 18er.
Hi, my name is Alton Urbaiva. I serve as both peer support provider and a supervisor at Access Behavioral Health Services. I'm going to skip on my testimony because I want to have Alex to read hers because she's one of our success stories that...
Great. All right, Alex, step on up.
First. So I wrote this out, and it might be more than a minute, but so I'm just going to read it. Hello, my name is Alexis Santiago, and I'd like to speak to you today about how Idaho Medicaid cuts have personally affected my life. Everything from pay cuts for in-home care services to completely cutting the adult peer support program. These have affected me as a young adult, late diagnosed on the spectrum. I use these services to help me learn and stay independent in the community and in my own home. I started getting these services before my autism diagnosis years ago because I was struggling to do basic things I needed to be able to care for myself. These services have completely changed my life. I wouldn't be who I am, let alone as far as I am, if it wasn't for these services. The end of this last year, the peer support program was completely cut, and it was devastating for me. I have worked with my same peer for almost 10 years, the young lady standing with me today. This lady has made a huge impact for me to better my life, and I don't say that lightly. Before she came into my life in 2016, I was a wreck. I didn't know how to do much of anything for myself. With her support, help, insight, and encouragement all these years, I am finally starting to get where I want to in life, to be independent, self-reliant, and successful. This amazing young lady even went as far as to help me by talking and encouraging me one night to not give up when I was so deep in my struggles and I wanted no more than to leave this world. She saved me that night. She's seen me through my lowest and even seen me soar through my highest. And now I stand before you sharing my story, the importance and impact your vote can make on our community, on our citizens, and on our future. This peer of mine made that difference for me. So please think through your decision. Maybe your decision can change, impact, and even save a life. So please stand with me today on the decision to not cut crucial Medicaid programs that help better and shape our community and our future for the better. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and I'm so glad you're still here with us. Thank you, Roberta. Roberta, can you come up? Thank you so much. And then on deck, we have 3 folks from the same address, and I think given our time constraints and that we still have 60 people on the list, amongst yourselves, could one of Jadine, Lydia, or Jada Page come up after Roberta? Thanks, Roberta. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Roberta D'Amico. I live in Boise, Idaho, District 18. Thank you for your service and the opportunity for all of us to speak. My friend asked me to share this story about her father, Larry. In 2014, Larry was diagnosed with dementia. He spent about 10 months in assisted living, but then his dementia became violent. He was evicted from memory care, the unit that had accepted him in less than 12 hours. Larry was a Medicaid patient after having lost most of his resources in his divorce. There were few places he could go. It was not safe to stay with family because of his violent tendencies. St. Luke's and Ada County Sheriff's Department stepped in, kept him on psychiatric hold, and social workers were able to find a specialized home that would help accept him and help him and his family. The experience devastated this family. They shared the only good parts about it were that he had Medicaid and that there were still helpers in law enforcement, at the hospital, the social worker, and the care center, and like you folks on the dais, and hopefully your other elected officials. I'll go quick. My friend stated, I cannot express strongly enough how necessary Medicaid was as a tool to ensure my dad had competent care and for public safety. Without Medicaid, her father literally would have been a violent man on the street. Larry's story and stories like his affects everyone. The burden of care will always remain, but the consequences will be shifted in dangerous and harmful ways. On behalf of my friend, her father, Larry, their family, and for thousands like them, we must maintain and facilitate Medicaid services for all the people of Idaho. It's the human thing to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roberta. Then we have, I don't know if you want to come up collectively, but we have the Jadine, Lydia, and Jada group. And then on deck after that, I believe we have Wendy Liming. So Wendy, be prepared to come right up after our next. Do we have Jadine, Lydia, and or Jada? Okay, come right on down. And Lydia will speak. Thank you so much. Is this?
Thank you so much for giving us your time to listen to us. I am Lydia from Milestone Decisions. I am advocating for this beautiful lady here, Tracy Sharp. I am a caregiver for Milestone Decision, and I'm really concerned about any cuts to Medicare on behalf of Katie, because on behalf of Tracy, because if Tracy loses her services, she is at risk of harming herself or ending up in an institution that she is not supposed to be. Okay, several times Tracy has been found trying to harm herself. For example, sometimes she eats non-edible things like glass, stone, batteries, and because of that, she needs a caregiver who is able to take care of her 24/7. Another thing, Tracy uses an ostomy bag that needs a caregiver to be present for her, since she cannot help herself alone. Tracy also is at risk of falling, so she needs someone to be supportive to her, and also she needs someone to be helping her with different services or various services. So I'm advocating for her. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Next up, we have Wendy Liming, and wait, let me see, where do we go from there?
I'm going to prayer meeting. I'm also a Medicaid recipient as well. I was one of the first ones to sign up. I absolutely needed it.
Okay. Well, do you want to, sorry, what's your name?
I'm Rebecca Mallory Stewart, BS from DSU, Bachelor of Biology.
Oh, thank you.
Here I have my, I wrote down my information.
Oh, wonderful, thank you.
I'm wearing the stethoscope my grandma gave me for my 10th Christmas. My Medicaid story is my college career has been on hold for 10 years now. I'm still hoping to get Dr. Veterinary Medicine.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Is Wendy Liming here? Wendy, are you here? Okay, I don't see Wendy. Should we, we did Samantha, who else? Wendy, okay, we're gonna skip Wendy. Who do we still have? Yeah. Pardon? Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see down at the end. Brooke has joined us. Brooke, do you want to say a quick hello to everybody? Representative Brooke Green has joined us.
Hello, I just want to say thank you guys so much for showing up, participating. Your voices are not going unheard. All of us are here incredibly interested in helping and finding mechanisms to ensure that your services continue. I apologize I couldn't be here earlier. I was actually at another panel, but really appreciate you guys taking your time to be here this evening.
So I think our next one up is Kim.
And I am on JFAC, so I am listening very carefully to what you have to say, and I implore you, the cuts that are coming will be disastrous to our communities. Your voices, your participation is going to be incredibly critical. Friday, we're making that vote. Please show up.
Thank you. Next, we have Kimberly Calkins, and then on deck, Jarrett McCall. So Kimberly, are you here? Terrific. Thank you, Kimberly. Come on down, and Jarrett, be ready to jump on the podium next. Calkins. Welcome, Kimberly.
Thank you. Since the time is so short, we'll keep it short and sweet. I am here on behalf of my daughter, Kylie Valter. We moved to Idaho from Guam because Idaho has spectacular services for this program. My daughter is considered autistic, behavioral disorders, neurodivergent. She might look like she's wonderful and capable, but she's not. I have been an employee for Adventure Supported Living since I relocated from Guam to Idaho 6 years now. This guy I work with, we can't afford to lose. We can't afford to take any cuts. We should not. These are your people. Every single one of these are your supporters. I implore you guys to keep us working not at home. My daughter doesn't take anything I say serious. She needs staff. I get to be home with her after work. But we need this, and we thank you so much for your time and your patience and your ears.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Next, we have Jarrett McCall, who's coming, and then on deck, we have Robert Wagner from Idaho Falls. Welcome, Jarrett.
I'm Jarrett, and this is Nate. And I support Nate, and he has autism, and he has recently lost his counseling due to the cuts. Can you explain how much you miss your counselor and talk to him and tell him about it?
I miss my counselor, and we both hanging out, and then we just, not doing anything and playing some Uno and games and some of that. And he got a new job, so that's it for today.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
It's our pleasure. Thank you. Next, we have Robert. Is Robert Wagner here? Wonderful. Well, come on down, Robert. And then on deck, we have Tammy Schneider. So Tammy, get ready to come on down after Robert.
Hi, thanks for the time. I'm Robert Wagner. I'm the CEO of Stewards of Recovery. We're a stud and mental health provider in East Idaho. We help about 1,500 Idahoans a year, and we employ about 140 people. I've got the 4-minute speech, which we're not going to do, right? I want to hit things quickly. One, cutting Medicaid, especially behavioral health Medicaid, is you can pay now or pay more later, right? When treatment's cut, the needs don't disappear. It goes to more expensive settings. Emergency rooms, jails, prisons, psychiatric hospitals, courts, CPS, foster care, law enforcement. Here's a positive example of small Medicaid dollars invested in SUD can drive wonderful outcomes. We recently treated a young woman who came through us through drug court. She was using meth daily. She completed residential treatment, completed outpatient care, finished with her drug court, and I'm lucky enough to see her about once every 2 weeks when I go where she works in Idaho Falls, working full-time. She recently regained custody of her 13-year-old child, and this is significant savings for the state, right? We saved CPS a lot of money. That was a disabled child, right? We saved corrections a lot of money. You guys get it. But I know my time is up, but behavioral health has a 7-to-1 lever for the state of Idaho. Every dollar spent saves $7. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Tammy Schneider, and then on deck we have Heather Bennett. You may not want to. Great. Go ahead, Tammy.
Okay, it's Jamie Schneider. My name is Jamie Schneider. Yep, looks like a T. Somebody else signed up for me. They're saying you're speaking, so here I am. Anyway, District 20, I'm the owner of Abundant Life Supported Living in Nampa and Post Falls, Idaho, and I have with me today this lovely lady.
My name is Renee.
Renee is with me today. Renee rode her bike all the way from Orchard and Franklin to be here today. So Renee was recently crowned Miss Amazing for her age division and is raising money to go to Chicago this summer for nationals to represent Idaho, our great state. I bring Renee up to me. I had a whole speech prepared about being born and raised here and loving what I'm doing and passionate about these services, but I wanted to switch really quickly, bring Renee up here and just say Renee went from 24/7 services to hourly services. Because she has gained independence in this program, with cuts, hourly services are not going to exist. So please keep that in mind. Thank you.
Oh, yes, make sure you leave your statement. I think actually next we might have Beth Markley. Do you have Beth Markley? Come on up, Beth. Great. And then on deck we have Colleen Kelsey. So Colleen Kelsey, be ready.
Yes, thank you so much for hosting this tonight. I'm Beth Markley from District 17. Go Bench Bunnies. I'm the Executive Director of NAMI Idaho, the Idaho State Organization of the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and I'm here as such and as a parent of a young adult with serious mental illness. 3 years ago, my adult son was in acute psychosis due to a schizoaffective disorder. At the same time, he was likely someone that some folks in this building would think of as able-bodied. True, for short periods of time, he could mask his condition, yet he couldn't have much of a conversation, or he couldn't concentrate on anything longer than the length of a television commercial. He suffered terrifying delusions, and he didn't believe that we were his parents. With medication and proper treatment under Medicaid, he was able to recover almost fully. He's been able to work full-time, drive a car, attend school, and care for himself. For many Idahoans like my son, Medicaid and Medicaid expansion means the difference between leading full lives and cycling from one crisis to the next, requiring expensive interventions, emergency services, and support from law enforcement. Thanks for taking the time to hear our stories.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Beth. Next we have Colleen Kelsey. And then on deck we have Elva Gannon. Okay, Colleen Kelsey, I think just turned in written, so I think we'll go straight to Elva Gannon then. Thanks, Colleen. Elva, are you, here she comes.
Thank you. I'm a representative the HCBS community, the residential habilitation. One thing that a lot of people don't talk about is the A&D waiver on the residential habilitation side. I have a program that takes care of clients that way. We are a cost-saving measure. I got a client from Utah Idaho was paying them to be in Utah because no one in Idaho could take them. They are currently in my program living in their community. We are saving money and not paying Utah to take care of them. I get clients from the hospital. They have been in the hospital 120 days. That no one will take them. I took them, and they are now in our care, saving money. We get people from the homeless shelter. These people, you guys could be these people. You're one accident away from having a traumatic brain injury. If you have a traumatic brain injury, you are going to either go to an assisted living, a nursing home, or you can come into one of our programs and be cared in a home rather than an assisted living facility. Please keep our program. There's a lot of people that need it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elva. Richard, is this one? Actually, Alexis Jordan, sorry, we're jumping through the... Alexis Jordan, come on up, and then after that we have Richard Harvey, I think? So Alexis and then Richard Harvey, be ready to come next.
Hello, my name is Alexis. I don't like speaking in front of people. My name is Alexis. I have lived here in Idaho my whole life. I need help every day. I may not look like I have a disability, but some disabilities you can't physically see. I live in a place with staff who help me all the time. It is what keeps me alive. Without them, I could get hurt, taken advantage of, manipulated, or worse. Losing Medicaid would be detrimental to my safety, my mental health, emotional health, and my overall well-being. Please, Governor, do not make any more cuts to Medicaid. It helps people like me live safely and happily. It keeps families safe. Please protect it as if you knew someone who relied on Medicaid and depended on it to live a good life and be safe and have the support they would need. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Richard Harvey, come on up. And then on deck after that, we have Tara Adams.
Hi. I'm not Rick, but Rick and his wife couldn't be here, and so I wanted to share their story, which is actually about Rick's brother named Brad. Brad was born with severe seizure disorder and has struggled his whole life. He was put into the Nevada State Hospital when he turned 14. As an adult, Brad was finally able to move into a group home in Reno. It was better than an institution, but not an ideal life. After many moves to many group homes over the years, we decided to move him to Idaho, where my husband and I live. His wife Nancy actually wrote this. So. The closest available at the time was Twin Falls. That's where Brad lives, at a home and community-based service, rehab, that I work for. He is now living a full life at the age of 76. He makes all of his own choices. He chooses his meals and decides when he eats them. He has excellent health care. We've never seen Brad this happy. He has a cute sense of humor, which showed itself when he moved to Idaho. We want Brad to remain in the situation for the rest of his life. So, on behalf of Brad and his family, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Tara Adams, come on up. And then on deck after that, we have Brittany Shipley.
Good evening, everyone. I feel very fortunate. I'm in District 18, and so to see 3 of my senator and representatives here is very fortunate. I am a deaf Idahoan. I am a mother of 5 children, and I am speaking on behalf of the deaf community. I want to emphasize how much these cuts are going to impact the deaf community. I also want to share one of our golden rules that we have within the disability community, which is nothing about us without us. Thank you for showing what that really looks like in practice. Thank you for recognizing and listening and seeing our dignity. Thank you. We are so grateful for you.
Brittany, come on up. And after that, we have Ray LaCrary. So Ray, be ready after Brittany.
Hi, I'm Brittany Shipley from Haley, and I want to share a story of a 19-year-old young man with developmental disabilities and mental illness. As of today, he has spent 1 full month incarcerated, not because he's committed a crime or jail is appropriate, but because there were no Medicaid service options left, because ACT has been cut, because there is no option left for an individual who needs services that are intense to live safely in their community. As a result, he's in a jail system that was never designed to serve somebody with a high level of mental health needs and cognitive disabilities. He was placed on a suicide watch when first moved in there and put into isolation, stripped of his sight because glasses are considered a self-harm risk. He was functionally unable to see. Under Medicaid, glasses are the only vision support you're eligible to receive. Currently, the individual still remains for an entire month isolated, with no contact other than to receive options for food and medications due to the cognitive impairments and vulnerabilities they have. The medical contractor ignored a court order for medications for an entire week on the belief that they didn't think it was real. This is not hypothetical harm. This is happening right now. It's not just a story, it's my son. I'm his court-appointed guardian. This is real. The sheriff thinks it's a danger to have him there, and the sheriff means well, but this is what's happening due to cuts like services for ACT. This is real. My son is not an outlier, he is a warning. So please, help us reinstate behavioral health services like ACT that are critical and life-saving, because we're shifting costs to things like inpatient care which he now qualifies for, that is upwards of $60,000 a month. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Ray, we have you up next, and then after Ray on deck, Dale or Renee? I think Renee Royce after that, and then Dale Thomas. So be ready. Hi, Ray.
Hi. I'm a father of three adult kids and 2 grandkids. My grandson had to have therapy. He was speech delayed, and it took us 6 months just to get services. The main thing is, my concern is mental health services. I've done a lot of services with foster care on both ends. My kids were in foster care, and I've been a foster parent for a year. And foster care, the kids in foster care, they're going to have trauma, whether it's big or small, it's going to be there. And with the Medicaid reducing it, it's less available. I hesitate to be a foster parent again because the services are not available. It's like, that's my main thing. It's like, and also as far as foster care goes, it's like services there. So I see it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Renee, do we have Renee Royce here? Is Renee here? Renee? Oh, she had to leave. Okay.
She had to leave, but you did hear from her sister.
Oh, perfect. Okay, terrific. Thanks so much. And then Dale Thomas? Do we have Dale Thomas? Dale? Is Dale here? Oh, he's left already. Okay, Matthew. Oh, I think we had Matthew Knopp already. Did we have Matthew Knopp? I feel like we heard Matthew Knopp. Okay, well, we may be getting somewhere here in terms of letting everybody a chance here. Dr. Thaddeus Kuntz, did we get that one? There we go. Dr. Thaddeus Kuntz, come on up.
Hello, thanks for your time and your effort on this. It's really a surprising place to be in. I've worked here for a number of years. I was a medical director at the state hospital in Orofino for most of my career here, and this is the kind of thing I never thought we would see happen. It's both irrational, I think, and immoral what has transpired. And I have lots of examples I can give about why it's both, but I think many of those have already been said. So I was thinking at a more philosophical level, something that seems to be missing from the discussion that comes up is that this is a choice. It's framed as though, like, we have to make these cuts. We have to do it, the budget doesn't work. That's baloney, and we can't let people set the narrative for us. You have to attack it on the premise that this is a choice. You chose to eliminate taxes. You chose how to allocate money. What is money? Money is a piece of paper with no meaning, no value whatsoever. You can burn it, nothing hurts. No one's lost. Money is just a tool to determine how people spend their time, how people spend their effort in our working lives. And what is more important than helping those who are least among us? Nothing is more important than helping those who are least among us. So these dollars that we're supposedly saving, what are they going to be put to use for? What's more valuable than helping those who are least among us? And I want to end by saying they're going to try to frame this as a cost savings. They're not. These are cuts, and you're failing to invest in the future. This money is actually investment in the future because cutting the money now is deferring the cost to the future. This will ripple through years. Idaho's society, the fabric of our society will begin to fray, and the cost will be borne by the future generations of Idahoans if this isn't reversed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Couldn't agree more. Kelly Hardy. Hardy? Kelly? Oh, excellent. Welcome, Kelly.
Hi. Can I show my sign?
Sure.
Get somebody to hold it so people can see back there too. Maybe someone can hold it for me? Thank you, Christine. My testimony is short. My name is Kelly Hardy. I am legal guardian of Brandon Rosenthal. I live in Cuna and he lives in Nampa. The HCBS cuts put his life at risk. He has level 3 autism and he can't speak. He's been institutionalized for over 15 years, from when he was 7 in a group home where he was physically restrained multiple times a day. Then he was raped 33 times by a known sex offender that was made his roommate in the home. He was then moved to the state institution for people with developmental disabilities for over 15 years. At the institution, he also was restrained hundreds of times a year and chemically restrained with medication and even put in a locked fencing helmet. I'm just going to show you a picture of what that looks like. He was physically and emotionally abused and neglected by the staff repeatedly. So many power struggles over things like because he was twirling ribbons or making pretend cigarette packs, which the staff felt were inappropriate for him to have. Once because he wanted whiteout for his papers, I'm almost done, he was finally released to HCBS services where he gets 24-hour one-to-one staffing in a home with shared expenses with 3 roommates with disabilities. In over 15 years of being out of institutional care, he has never had a single restraint, physical, chemical, or mechanical. He's never run away or attacked people, and nothing has changed about him. Only the setting and the services changed, and that's what made things better. I have more to say, but I'll finish it. I gave you all a letter that has his picture. Please share it with your people that you share the House and the Senate with who did not attend today. I want his story to be known. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I want to welcome Senator Carrie Semmelrock, who joined us down at the end. So thank you so much. Also, we have Walt Ronk is next on our list. Was Walt Ronk here? Walter, perhaps in an overflow room? Does anyone see Walt Ronk coming in? Okay, we have Melinda Lowe on deck then. Melinda, is Melinda here? Oh, Melinda had to leave. Okay, the next is Sarah Landry. Is Sarah Landry here? And
Say something for Melinda really quick. She was here to talk about her son, who I also work with. He has been in and out of institutions without supportive care. He jumped off a 7-story building, and he continues to do things like eat plastic, and he needs 24-hour care to make sure that he's safe and okay. She drove all the way from Coeur d'Alene to be here today.
oh my goodness.
Do you want to read the name in
Do you want to?
microphone at least? Or?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
What was that?
S-
It's okay.
Yeah, we have, is this Walt? Walt, we have Walt Ronk. Thank you so much for sharing that story over there. So Walt, come on up to the microphone and
Over here.
tell us.
Can you see the microphone?
Yeah. I'm Walt Ronk. I'm from District 19. I am what is called now level 1 autistic. It used to be called Asperger's syndrome. I speak for a lot of other autistics that I know that are all of all levels. I also speak for other handicapped people and those that are elderly and disabled as well. Now, what we've had happen already with Medicaid cuts, I'll tell you, is atrocious. It's sickening. In September, we lost our peer support. Now, that doesn't affect me very much because I've got an IQ of 155 and my symptoms are very mild. So my autism doesn't affect me very much. And I'm 63 years old now and I've learned to live with it. But I have a lot of friends that are not as able as I am. And it's those that lost their peer support that is extremely detrimental. That peer support gave them a person to talk to 1 day a week for 2 hours. Now, for a person that doesn't have much social interaction, that is huge. It can keep them out of depression. It can keep them from committing suicide or getting into drug or alcohol addiction. Just think about it, you know. And Medicaid covered that, but it doesn't after September of last year. So that's the one cut that's already happened. I want to speak momentarily about the potential cuts that we're worried about that will happen going forward. That is medical, covering our medications.
Yeah.
If those aren't covered by Medicaid, how are we going to cover it?
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry. We're a few more people to get through. We have Tom Hemker. Is Tom Hemker here?
I'm Sarah Landry.
Oh, Sarah is here, who I think we
I
listed
ran from
before,
another
but we
room.
lost you. Okay, Sarah.
What was your last name? Landry.
Sarah Landry. Okay, Sarah Landry, fire away. And then after that, we have Tom Hemker, if Tom is here. Sorry, Tom Hemker, and then after Tom, I'm not sure if Tom is still here, but then we have Lou Mellis? So, fire away, Sarah.
Thank you. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to all the parents who came out and spoke today. Obviously, appealing to people's humanity, not directed to any of you, but appealing to people's humanity has not necessarily worked. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. So I'm here to take a slightly different approach. My name's Sarah Landry, and I'm a speech-language pathologist and the owner of Talk Blossom, a local pediatric speech and language clinic. I'm here tonight because Medicaid-funded occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy are not optional services for the families that I work with. They are essential. In pediatric therapy clinics like mine, an average of 65% of the total caseload is made up of children on Medicaid. For many families, Medicaid is the only way that their child can access therapy. If coverage for OT, PT, and speech therapy is eliminated in 2027, clinics will be forced to reduce their services or close altogether. That means that all children, whether on Medicaid or not, would lose access to care. Families would have nowhere to turn, and communities would lose vital small healthcare businesses. Research shows that early therapeutic intervention improves language, cognition, and social outcomes for children. Early childhood investment is generally a positive economic return, with conservative estimates showing anywhere from $4 to $16 in long-term societal benefits for every $1 invested. These savings come through reduced public costs and increased productivity. Protecting access to these services isn't just good medicine, it's good economic policy. I'm speaking not just as a provider, but as someone who knows these children and families personally. Medicaid-funded therapy gives children the tools they need to succeed and allows families to remain active, working members of our community. I urge our leaders to protect Medicaid coverage for pediatric occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech therapy. This is an investment in children, families, and the long-term health of our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. And I think we had Lou on, what we call this, Lou, are you Lou? Terrific. Lou, and then we have 5 minutes left, so I think we're going to jump to the people who are from faraway places after this. So Amy Brown after this, and then Susie Heath. And then, unfortunately, I think that's probably all we'll be able to get through before we. So thank you so much. So Amy and Susie, be ready.
Okay, I'll be quick here, but I wanted to give you an example of how a Medicaid investment has really changed our son's life. Our son Paul was born with Down syndrome 40 years ago, and was born in Pocatello, moved to Boise when he was 3, but began therapy, as an infant. So that he had the physical ability to do things. He was mainstreamed in school. He made friends. He was able to, develop the skills to be part of his community. When he graduated from high school, he got job training. He got a job, and he still has that job 20 years later. He works at Boise State in the sub as a cook and rides his bike there when he works. So that investment has got him into his own house, a house with roommates. He, as our daughter summarized it really well, his big sister. She's put it down, he's got friends, he's got lots of friends, he's got his own house, and he's got a job he likes. What else could you ask for? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Amy Brown? Amy, you here? Amy? Oh, is that you, Amy? Hi, come on down, thanks. And then on deck we have Susie Heath.
Hi, I'm Amy Brown from Chubbuck, Idaho. I am happy to be here and thankful for all of you for allowing me the opportunity to speak. I have worked with people with disabilities for a long time, longer than I want to admit to. And I think one of the things that hasn't been really said that I have heard is that our infrastructure in this state is dependent on healthcare. It's dependent on good fiscal responsibility, as we've stated, but also on revenue. And healthcare, in particular Medicaid, brings in $1 billion a year for this state. So I think that is important to remember, and to remember that Medicaid services are intertwined with all of different types of healthcare. So if we talk about primary care versus specialty versus disabilities versus hospital, like it's a continuum of care, and trying to tease it apart is really, really difficult. It's all necessary. So thank you.
Thank you. And we are going to extend the hearing somewhat because we don't have that many people left and we really don't want to cut off the last like 5 or 6 people. So Senator Wintrow is going to take over chairing, and we're going to, I think, try to keep going until 7:30 so that everybody can have their say.
Madam Chair?
Okay.
Madam Chair?
Here we go.
Madam
Yes,
Chair?
yeah.
I just very quickly, as there's a show of hands of people here who are not from Boise.
Nice.
And I know in the other room it's the same thing. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the trip down.
Good job. So, you all are doing amazing. Randy, do you want to come down and testify now? Here comes Randy. Yep. Good job. Oh, sorry, that was my tea all over Alana's computer. Sorry, my tea. Thanks, Randy. After Randy is Susie. Is it Haida? Susie? Or maybe it's Heath. Susie Heath is after Randy. Do you need, here's a microphone lower right here. Yep, mm-hmm. There we go. So after Randy is Susie Heath, and after Susie Heath is Austin Watson is after. So it goes Randy, then Susie Heath, then Austin Watson. Good job. Thank you, Randy, for being here. I'm so glad I went into the other room.
Hi, my name's Randy Nelson.
Can you get a little closer to the microphone, Randy? I'm so sorry. That darned old thing. There you go. You're almost there. I wish I had a lapel mic. But we know what Randy has to say is important, so we got to hear it, right?
I have a couple things. I've been on Medicaid for 17 years. I'm a quadriplegic, and I depend on those cares to get me up in the morning, get me dressed, get me ready to go. I've worked for 26 years for the State Tax Commission, so I have a decent retirement with Social Security and per-se pension. The problem is the way the system's set up for share of cost. After you retire, they say, Randy, you have to live on this much money, and we're going to take all the rest. And I have a house. I built the house back in '96. It's totally handicap accessible. There's no ramps. There's no stairs. Everything's accessible. I don't want to have to move out and go into a institution. Plus, they just did these. I started my own home health care agency to take care of myself. So I have to hire people and to pay with Medicaid. But Medicaid cut my budget by 4%. So that's $4,000 a year that I have to find out of a $100,000 budget. I don't think they understand that if you want to stay in the community, stay in your home, that you need more money to pay for things. I can't do lawn care. I can't do anything like that. I have a van that I have to buy gas for. They don't care about that. They want me to take those expensive ambulance to go to the emergency room or to go to the doctor's appointment. I can go in my van and spend $4 for gas and have my caregiver drive me. Why spend all that $80 to go downtown for Medicaid transportation? That seems ludicrous.
Yes.
I think it's crazy they don't let me maybe keep half of my, they take half of my retirement income, but they could leave me keep $1,500 a month out of that $3,217.36 they take every month. I don't know. There's got to be a change.
Yeah.
And I can see everybody, all the other cuts that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I don't see how that's going to help anybody.
Thank you, Randy.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yes. Randy, we're working on your issue. Don't forget, Jeremy, and we're working. Thank you. Randy, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you sharing your story, and people are working on some of the things you're saying, so thank you. Keep it up. Thank you. Okay, who did I say? What was back here? Austin Watson? Did we get Austin? Yes, I'm right here. Okay, Austin coming, and then after that is Alyssa Aldrich or Brian Aldrich. Okay, we have like 25 minutes. We're making good time. Look at this. We're doing good. Go.
Wonderful. Thank you. My name is Austin Watson. I am in District 22, and I know you all have heard, please don't cut, please don't cut. And so instead, I'm just going to tell you about my son, Owen. So this is my 6th grade son, Owen. He has a rare and catastrophic form of epilepsy called Dravet syndrome. At 3 months old, he had his first seizure lasting over 8 minutes. At some days, he has had over 300 seizures in a day, some seizures lasting over an hour. And in spite of a heavy cocktail of medication, he still continues to have seizures. He has global developmental delay and behavior issues, autism, and feeding therapies, sleep issues, etc. Because of the support of Medicaid, Owen has been able to participate in the infant and toddler program since he was very young. He has been able to now, for the first time since March of 2020, attend public school and brick and mortar school in the RISE program. He is able to have a one-on-one private duty nurse, and for the first time ever, he played on the Gen Ed basketball team with other 5th and 6th grade boys.
Yay!
His inclusion in these programs is vital for his happiness. It is because of Medicaid and because of the services that we have received that he has been able to thrive these last 12 years. Unfortunately, Idaho does not have a pediatric epileptologist, so we travel to Chicago for some of our care, where we see one of the most world-renowned doctors for his condition. With cuts to Medicaid, we as a family have to look at leaving Idaho. My husband is a senior engineer at Micron. We've been here for nearly 20 years, and we've been here so much longer than we ever thought we were because we have found a community of helpers and a community of people who love us and, more importantly, love him. And I want to share very quickly a letter from my 10-year-old niece.
Bless you.
She says, "Dear lawmakers, my cousin Owen has Dravet syndrome. But really, he's more like my brother, and it is my responsibility to help keep him safe. And to do that, I need your help. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If I can be of any further help or assistance, please feel free to contact me."
Thank you for being here.
Thank
you. Okay, so we have 33 people left. So can we all promise we'll take like 1 minute and we can, or even less? I hate to ask you to do that, but here we go. Here comes Alyssa or Brian Aldrich. On deck is Nicole Doyle Moore. And then there's Jordan Tomingama. Oh, darn it. How do you pronounce that? Tominada? Yeah, there we go. So do we have any of those folks here? Yes. Here we go. So Alyssa O'Brien Aldrich. Who's coming? Who's coming? Come. Who is it?
Sorry, for Alyssa, they just had to leave.
Okay.
So they had their son Lucas here as well, and he's an 18-year-old. Also wanted to talk about home and community-based services. I also have a 23-year-old adult son, that uses the HB.
Are you on the list?
I'm not, I'm sorry.
Oh, darn it. What's your name? Just say your name.
Bill Bailey, and I'm from Canyon County District
Perfect. Keep
13.
going.
But what I wanted to say is I wanted to reiterate Jim Bow's comments about the HCBS services, the Olmsted versus LV legislation. And I don't want to take a ton of time, but yeah, my son is one of those that is so medically fragile, he would need to be in an institution. And we've been able to have nursing care in our home, which has provided us the opportunity to work outside the home. And we've been very grateful for that opportunity. And I'm out of breath.
Oh, you did great.
But anyway, I just wanted to say that that is keeping us employable, et cetera, and keeping my son healthy and not being in the hospital all the time.
Thank you so much for jumping up and doing that one for her. Okay. So here we go on deck is, who is that?
My name's Jordan.
Jordan. And then after Jordan, we have Susie Heath. And who's after Susie Heath? Jordan. Okay, this is Jordan.
I am Jordan.
You're
yes.
Jordan. Good job, Jordan. Go.
Okay. I brought a big poster board and they wouldn't let me bring it in, but it had more pictures. This is my adorable son, Ryder.
Aw.
Yesterday, while we were shopping at Walmart, something small happened that meant everything to me. Ryder is considered nonverbal. Words don't often come easily for him. But out of nowhere, he looked around, smiled, and said, "Yep, we cute."
Aww.
It stopped me in my tracks. It brought tears to my eyes, and it didn't just affect me. The people around us smiled, laughed softly. Their whole mood shifted. In a world that can feel heavy and divided, my son created a moment of pure light in the middle of the checkout line. You see, Ryder may never pay taxes. He may never contribute to society in a traditional financial way. But what he does contribute is something we are dangerously short on. He gives hope, he gives joy, and he changes perspectives. He reminds people to slow down, to see humanity, to lead with kindness. He makes people want to be better and do better. And that kind of impact cannot be measured on a balance sheet. Ryder was diagnosed with profound autism at 2.5, but autism is only part of his story. Because of that, I am not just his mother, I am his nurse, his therapist, his advocate, his care team, and his safety net. Care facilities could not take him, school settings could not support him, not because he isn't worthy, but because his needs are simply too high. So I became his full-time caregiver 24 hours a day. The truth is, this country was not built for families like mine and mine. But here is what I need you to understand. Families like ours are not people who choose to live off the system. Through my advocacy work, I have met pharmacists, psychiatrists, teachers, business owners, highly educated, hardworking people who never imagined their lives would look like this. They plan to work to contribute and to pay their taxes, to give back. Then a diagnosis changed everything. We did not choose this path, but we will always choose our children. We are not asking for handouts, we are asking for a lifeline. The Medicaid programs and supports being discussed are not luxuries for us. They are what stand between stability and collapse, between home care and institutionalization, and between dignity and despair. Cutting these services might look like savings on paper, but the long-term costs financially and morally will be far greater when families burn out, when children lose access to care, and when crisis replaces prevention. So when you sit with your budget decisions, I ask you to remember Ryder. Remember the checkout line at Walmart. Remember the little boy who brought light to strangers in the middle of an ordinary day. And remember that families like mine do not have options. Our only choice is to love, protect, and care for our children every single day, no matter the cost. Tonight, you will go home to your families. I will go home to continue being Ryder's entire care team. Please make sure the laws you pass that make that possible. Budgets show what a state can afford, but how we treat the most vulnerable shows who we are. Ryder's life has value. Families like mine have value. Please let your decisions reflect that. My son cannot stand here and speak tonight, so tonight, your vote will tell him how much his life is worth.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. Good work. I know we're not taking any votes today, unfortunately. I wish we could. I don't know what I'm saying, but we do have only about 20 minutes left, so we got to promise we got to go quick. And I hate to do that to you, but just really try to do your best so everybody gets a chance to come up here.
Just real quick, Nicole Dovalmore, I think we kind of skipped through that. Real quick, I am testifying on behalf of my autistic son, Archer.
Good job.
When he was first diagnosed at the age of 3.5, he had echowelia. He could not say, I'm hungry, my stomach hurts. He grew from having home-based and community-based supports through Medicaid. He grew from that boy that cried and screamed when we sang happy birthday, who would hit other children when it was too bright, who heard the clock ticking and the plane going overhead at the same volume as somebody's voice, to the young 17-year-old man who will shake your hand, look you in the eye, and tell you about trains and the fire alarm system that's in the building that you're in, and ask you what your interests are. And I'm just here to tell you this program is so important to so many families. You've heard everybody here. Please make sure that you support this. We're Idaho. I'm so disappointed that our solution for a tax shortfall is to take services away from the most vulnerable. Please keep fighting for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good job. Okay, is this Susie?
So I am going to be speaking on behalf of Susie. I'm her daughter, Maddie.
Good job, Susie.
And we're going to take 3 off your list because we're going Maddie, Ron, and Susie all in one. Deal.
Okay, do
Okay,
Go.
here we go. I am a born and raised third-generation Idahoan. I, like all of you, have family who have suffered from disabilities, but they are so important to all of our lives. They are my 2 older brothers. Due to a traumatic birth, they suffer a variety of different developmental disabilities. And for the past 40 years, our parents have championed their care and coordinated their services. I realize now that this is something that I need to be looking ahead for the future. I need to be planning and advocating and being their voice. And so I realize that you are on our side and you are not going to allow these budget cuts to happen, but I also, and you are not going to rip their CSWs or their housing or any of those wonderful services that especially HBCCS provides. I want to leave you with what I would say to our governor, which is a couple of things. One, respectfully, keep your hands off my brothers' right to a quality life and do not remove this program. Thank you. Governor Little, quote, said this: Idaho has always led with common sense, and he hopes that common sense will prevail. So senators, representatives, and our governor, I wholeheartedly agree. Let that sentiment pertain to each and every issue that must be tackled this year. Common sense says that people are more important, and in Idaho, we must protect and defend people who cannot protect or defend themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, last call for Chloe Price. Is Chloe here? Chloe, here we go. And then after Chloe is Scott Thompson. And after Scott Thompson is Brad Early. Welcome.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me?
Okay, I am a Idaho worker and Idaho taxpayer, and I'm a student at the College of Western Idaho studying political science. And I am also diagnosed with bipolar 2, which is the #1 disorder where, most people are likely to die by suicide. And I have struggled with that a lot, but Medicaid in high school that I got through the YES program really helped me with medication and a lot of other things. I'm sorry, my voice is shaky, but
You're doing great.
But medications and insurance really saved my life when I was in high school. And the second that I got rid of Medicaid, I tried to die by suicide 2 times in the 2 months that it took me to find Full Circle Health with their sliding scale program. So more people will continue to suffer with these situations if we get rid of insurance. So I just wanted to say that on behalf of people who struggle with mental illness. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Good job. That was great. Thank you, Chloe. Here's Scott Thompson, and after Scott Thompson is Brad Early.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Scott Thompson. I'm a 5th-generation Idahoan. I'm honored to be able to speak in a free and democratic society where we still have a voice, and I think that that's extremely important.
Yes.
So, here speaking on behalf of my daughter, who at the age of 6 months, in a matter of 8 hours, went from a normally functioning child to completely paralyzed. It was all due to the common cold and a completely unpredictable situation. Her mother is a pediatric psychologist here in the state of Idaho. I am a vice president at a transportation company. We are actively gainfully employed, educated citizens of the state of Idaho. I also run a nonprofit that supports families with pediatric medical crises. We are actively giving back to our community. Yeah, nobody could predict what would happen to our daughter. And likewise, unless you're a millionaire, you couldn't afford what happened to our daughter. Medicaid has allowed her to walk. And taking that away is unconscionable. And as somebody whose family has been in this state for over 120 years, I'm not going to sit back and let that happen. So thank you for standing up and fighting.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Thank you. And now we have Brad. And after Brad is Shirley Van Zant.
Thank you for allowing me to come here and talk to you guys. I'm a little bit dismayed, though, because you're all Democrats, right?
Yep. Why are you dismayed by that?
No, I'm dismayed by the fact that I don't feel like the people who are actually going to make the decisions are listening. Being a caregiver is extraordinarily hard, as everybody here has testified to. But there's Grayson, my son. He didn't have. He could love and experience joy just as well as anybody else, and he was just as deserving of a life. And it was, as hard as caregiving was, it was nice not to have to worry about the financial impact of his medical side of that. And I certainly appreciated that being there, and taking that away from the most vulnerable population is, to me, just extraordinarily cruel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Steve's going to make a comment, but then Shirley Van Zant, come on down, and then Cecily Mortensen, go.
I just want to remind everyone here, there is an election in November. And make sure everyone you know votes. I only won by 227 votes last time. So I'm telling you, every vote counts. Every single one of them in November.
Thank you, Representative. Is Shirley Van Zant here? Shirley? No. And Cecily Mortensen, am I saying that right? Here you come. And after Cecily is it Mohammed Saeed? And after that is Nancy Tift, Allison Friend. Go.
Thank you so much for allowing us to speak and go over time. I appreciate that. I'm in District 17. I've had a chance to meet with Meg Egbert before, and I just wanted to share a little bit about my story. My son is the 18th boy in the world with his rare genetic diagnosis. We didn't have any answers till he was 4.5. So those first few years, Katie Beckett, my husband's a physician at St. Luke's. I'm a former lobbyist. I used to work near the White House, worked in government relations, and had a career before I had kids. And I can tell you, I was so proud to be in Idaho when I found out about Katie Beckett, because every IV bag cost $12.50. Our private Blue Cross of Idaho did not pay for his tube formula, things that were keeping him alive. I ask if we're having these reflection about these budget cuts, which I think is ridiculous to be putting on Medicaid, is why are we not looking more at primary insurance? Why are we not looking at some reform there? Maybe there's some money to be saved there, and it would save the state. Because I can't understand why me, a taxpayer, and my husband and I, who's literally cut his hours as a radiologist, because we are surviving trying to do this 24/7 care for not just one, 2 special needs sons. And I can tell you right now that I feel like there is going to be money that we can find that can save our state. And it also preventative care. I can't stress how important it is to be working on the safety and also keeping our kids from being prosecuted and put in the prison system. My son crossed Orchard in Franklin. I heard about the person that rode their bike. My son got out of his adaptive car seat when I was getting his laundry from his liquid diet from leaking, and I found the door open, the front driver door open. He found the non-child lock, and he crossed Orchard in Franklin during rush hour. I have been in fight or flight for most of my life. I have now PTSD. I had to go up to Washington State for 5 weeks this summer to treat my mental illness of how I'm depressed and anxious and being startled all the time because I have been saving my son's life for this long. The therapists that work in speech and OT and PT, they are my village. They are my friends. They are the ones that telling me I can do this. So think about it. It's not just affecting the Medicaid. It is affecting the caregivers, the parents, and these therapists. It is our community. Please, please, share this with the Republicans, please. We need everyone to hear this.
What's your name?
I'm Cecily Mortensen.
Thank you, Cecily. I appreciate you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Thank you. Do we have Mohammed? And I think the last name, I can't read it, Saeed. And then Nancy Tift. And then Allison Friend.
I have Allison here. She
Okay.
left, but I'll leave it here.
Great. And okay, go.
Yeah. I'm Nancy Tift. I'm in District 16, and I have a son who was born with a brain abnormality. Found out when I was pregnant with him. He has a global developmental delay. He's 4. He goes to speech, OT, PT. He has a wheelchair, a walker, all the things. He actually has a safety bed through Medicaid as well. We do have primary insurance through Aetna. I have fought with Aetna countless times to get things covered, and everything is denied through Aetna. So with Katie Beckett, I don't know how we would survive without it. I have countless friends that I've made here that are in the same boat as well. I'm also a nurse, and I work at Full Circle Health. I heard someone mention it earlier, and I'm seeing it not just through my son's case, but also through the eyes and the feelings of my patients that these cuts are doing. I just can't say enough how much, Medicaid is important, and we need to protect it with all costs. Yeah.
Thank you for your work too, and
Yes.
what you're doing at Full Circle. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
absolutely.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Good work. Okay, then we have Kayla Moore, and somebody's dancing my way. Hold on, Kayla Moore, and then Dolores Totorica. Is that it? I hope I said that right. And you are?
I'm Amber Grant, but I think earlier when we went to people that were out of town, my name got skipped over.
Well, go.
Okay.
Get your minute in there. Come on, you can do it.
I'm a bold special needs mama, so here it comes.
Okay.
My name's Amber Grant. I'm a native Idahoan. My son, Luke. Luke, can you stand up, buddy? Can you wave? Hi, buddy. That's Luke. I'm here as a mom, and I've been an advocate in the community for a long time. I have two special needs sons. Luke is 24 years old. We're a certified family home. He transitioned into adulthood, but he has autism and epilepsy, but he's so much more than his diagnosis, and our life is so much more fuller because of him. And our youngest son, Maddie, who couldn't be here, I was going to show you a picture, but we're running out of time. Maddie has cerebral palsy, and he suffered a spinal cord injury when he was 10. And we're not going to have him for much longer. But I can't tell you who we are because of the people that have come into our circle, because of Medicaid, prayers that have been answered. Both of my children has been a gift to the world, but we desperately need these services, and there are other options, and I am just so empowered, and there's such a fire in my belly. There is a vote coming up in November, and I'm just so thankful to have the right to vote, and also just thank you for speaking for us, for fighting for us, and there are other ways to do this, so thanks for hearing our voices.
Thank you for being here, and thanks for coming. Good job.
I'm Dolores Todorica. I'm from District 17. I will summarize it with one paragraph. I want the reimbursement rate for rehab agencies to not be cut. A healthy rehab agency business model is what is taking care of my son, Tony. He's a 36-year-old with profound disabilities. And recently it allowed me to have a stint in the hospital and in skilled nursing because I'm 71 years old. I'm not forever. And so my husband could not have stepped in to care for my son who has 24/7 needs because my husband farms 200 acres in Canyon County. And we were right in the middle of harvest. That couldn't have happened. So Tony would not be safe around all that farm machinery. So people that think that families can automatically step in because I'm so young and vibrant, I'm just one hospital stay away from not being so. So keep Medicaid.
Oh, thank you. So, okay, we have Kayla Moore. Kayla Moore left. Kyle Rainey. Gretchen. Oh, Gretchen Heck. Gretchen. Anyone else? Here comes Kyle. Let's go, Kyle, then Gretchen. Good job. You're doing great. And then here comes Kyle. And then on deck is Jen Northness Tigley. Don't you love how the dramatic pause? Go.
Thank you again, and I just want to say that we appreciate you so much. We feel seen, we feel heard, we feel understood, and we will remember come November. I promise that. My name is Kyle Rainey. I live in District 20 over in Meridian with my wife. Together we are certified family home providers. We have two amazing boys, Noah and Benjamin. Noah lives with profound autism. Speech and occupational therapy helped him find his voice and learn how to navigate his world. Those therapies didn't just teach skills, they unlocked possibilities. And he just completed his first semester at Boise State University. Ooh. With a 4.0, might I add, way better than his father ever did. So, our son Benjamin has spina bifida. He was in childhood, he was in a state institution before coming to our family. Physical therapy has strengthened his body, protected his health. Stable caregivers know him and care for him and helped him feel safe. We are not asking for handouts, we're asking for partnerships. This isn't just about dollars, it's about direction. It's about whether we invest in stability and dignity or pay more later for instability and loss. And as a former pastor of 15 years, many of your colleagues will be in pews this Sunday and hearing things about grace and love your neighbor as yourself. And I pray that they take those things and apply them to how they legislate. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's say, here comes Gretchen. After Gretchen is Jen Northness Tigley, and then Alexis Ladner, and then Erica Weber. Ooh, we're going to get kicked out soon, so we got to go quick. Go, Gretchen.
Go. Hi, my name's Gretchen Hecht, D19 resident.
Love you.
I'm here representing myself as a parent, a caregiver, and a retired health professional. We don't always have control about what happens in our lives, but we do have opportunity to choose how we respond. My daughter Heidi was born in 1970, 55 years old now. She was born with a birth defect called spina bifida and spent the first 2 months of her life at Primary Children's Hospital in Salt Lake, as there was no care available for her in Idaho. She had surgery at 48 hours to close the spinal defect, and at 6 weeks had a ventriculoperitoneal shunt placed for management of hydrocephalus. We were told multiple times that the possibility of her living past 1 year was unlikely, that she would be mentally retarded and never walk or be independent. The recommendation at the time was to place her in an institution. We took her home. We continued to make the back and forth trips for her care in Salt Lake. Her father was killed in a car accident when she was 2.5, so I instantly became a single mom. Heidi had early childhood education through the Idaho Elks Rehab Hospital pediatric program, learning important skills for increased independence with PT and OT. Therapies continued through the years. Heidi is fiercely independent, has a bright spirit, and a wicked sense of humor. All who meet her are always amazed. Her life has made life better for so many others, allowing them to see the world from a different perspective. Making budget cuts that affect the most vulnerable affect us all. We all deserve kindness and respect, no matter the circumstances.
Thank you, Gretchen. Thanks for doing a good job. You got that. We're up against a hard stop because the security folks are going to have to kick us out. But here's what I want to do. Did anyone not get to testify who wanted to? Okay, here's what I think we should do. I want you to come line up, and you can at least just say your name into the microphone and say the issue, and then we'll just keep it. So then it's on the record that we're creating on our video. Is that okay? So just one by one, you're going to say your name. 10 seconds while you're here, 10 seconds, you got to stick to it. And role model it for us. Go.
My name is Angela Fritz. I'm in District 19. I am a NICU therapist at St. Luke's Children's Hospital, where I support preemies. 50% of births are funded by Medicaid, and many of those children go on to have disabilities and rely on Medicaid.
So kids with Medicaid and disabilities in the NICU, go. Come on.
My name is Lara Goers, and I'm in District 14, and I am coming here with some solutions.
Good job, and we got that. So you got your name in there. Thank you. You're amazing.
My name is Ray Delagarza. I'm from Nampa. I'm a community-based program manager, so I'm a supervisor for CBRS and case managers. Young people, I hope you guys can all become professionals here in the state of Idaho and to fight the good fight,
Thank you for your work. Bless you. Thank you for leaving your statement. Go.
Hi, my name is Erica Weber. I am co-owner of Boise Residential Care and BRC Mental Health Services. We are the ones who started and that you guys passed a pilot program for mental health housing and long-term housing. And so we started the HEART program that you guys passed, and we did that 10 years ago. Since then, last year, you guys cut half of our program, actually 75% of our services already. We were going for our daily rate. That got cut. Our peer services got cut. Everything got cut, and if you guys keep cutting
Bless
more,
you.
we have nothing
We're not
left.
cutting anything.
So please.
Thank you for saying that, and thank you for putting that on there. Thank you.
My name is Daniel Spears with District 20. I am here advocating for home and community-based services for my ward, Rachel, with dual diagnoses.
Thank you. Home and community-based services. Go.
Yes, hello. My name is Mary K. Spears, and I'm in District 20. I am.
Wait, hold on, you guys. As you leave,
got lots of hats.
Okay.
I would like to remind everybody of the Office of Performance Evaluation report that said roughly 80% of caregivers are paid through Medicaid funding. And frankly, we don't get a cost of living increase anyway.
Yep.
And so it's a pay cut on top of a pay cut, and we're 3,000 people behind.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. Come on up. Go.
My name is Jennifer Browning. I own Family Counseling Services. I have a site in Meridian and a site in Boise. I employ 20 people. We do children's DD services and clinic. And the bottom line is, if our Medicaid reimbursements get cut anymore, we will not be able to afford to stay open.
Yeah, so you might reject patients right there. You're exactly right. We hear that commonly. Go. Come on up.
Phoebe Smith from District 19. I have 20 copies of my written statement. Please share it with Republicans.
Oh, amen, sister. All right, keep it coming.
I'm Marty Hooper. I'm the Executive Director of SIRCC in Nampa. I was here to talk about the loss of safe and sober housing, the loss of CADCs being able to do their job, and master level people only being hired. These changes have already taken place. I need to figure out how to get it stopped. Thank you.
Safe and sober. Thank you. Good job.
My name is Noah Kelly. I am a community support worker. I am currently in school to be an occupational therapist. I have worked long hours for bad pay, gotten physically injured at this job. I love it. I will still do it until the day I die. I am a future healthcare professional, and Governor Little, you are driving myself out of your state, and I am not the only one.
Thank you for sharing. Edgar, it's Melissa and all your fans up here. Okay, quick,
Very
Edgar.
My name is Edgar Zuniga, and I live in Nampa, Idaho, in District 12. I want to talk about why I need services. The importance of it is because I want to be part of the community, and also I would suggest that to tell the governor that we don't need cuts, that we need services.
Edgar, thank you so much. I know you traveled a long way to be here. Bless you for being here. I'll come see you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Keep going. Thank you, Edgar.
Hi, I'll try to make this quick. My name is Kimberly Rutledge. I'm here on behalf of myself, actually. I suffer with post-traumatic stress disorder complex, multiple traumas. I also have seizures that are related to my PTSD. I think, if anything, that everything that's going on with these budget cuts seriously is disgusting, that it's happening, and really needs to be rethought.
Thank you for sharing. Thanks for being here. Thank you. Go.
Hi, I'm Brandon Fisher. I live in Boise. What I want to talk about is early intervention. I've seen the effects of it with my own son, Everett, who's autistic. It saves money. It doesn't cost money. It costs more to not invest in early intervention. And I know everyone here is not in support of the tax cuts, but for the people who are, do you really want Idaho to be a place that when it comes time to balance a budget, will turn its back on its most vulnerable citizens?
Yes. Thank you so much. And early intervention, thank you. Okay, keep it coming. Good job.
Hi, my name is Rainey Bowles. I'm District 17. I have 5 special needs medically complex grandchildren that we are raising through ICCP or ICPC. Interstate Compacts.
Yes.
From the state of Washington, and you guys are supposed to be providing Medicaid for them. It is not going to stop anytime soon with them. I am concerned that Idaho is going to have more costs because of the things that they're going to be neglecting that may cause future lawsuits, like EPSDT and the ICPC, and especially with all of our foster kids, okay? So foster care, EPSDT.
You saw me taking notes. I know a lot of people are with you. Thank you.
My name is Nicole Parrott. I'm in District 21. And I just wanted to speak on behalf of my 3-year-old son who also has autism and about the early interventions and how vital they are. Because for me, my son is not a number. He is not a number in a budget. He is the future of Idaho. So please speak to your colleagues, make them reconsider.
Thank you for coming to JFAC the other day. Great. Keep it coming. You're doing great.
My name is Crystal Young, and I want to go on the record for saying how important home and community-based services are, as well as the cuts to physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy. They have literally saved my son's life. I really quick just wanted to share my son's words. He said that he feels everyone needs these services so that they can learn to handle their big emotions and develop flexible thinking just like him.
Good job.
He went from being nonverbal to now at 6, he's at a 3rd grade reading level.
Woo, good job. Look how you crammed that in. Go. Okay, next person. Good job. Thank you for sharing. Leave your story.
My name is Tyler Durant. I'm a computer systems analysis. I want to know how adding 50 to 120 people plus computer system plus roughly 500 pre-auths a year can save money.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming and sharing that.
My name is Alexa Lynn Phil, District 10. I work as a peer support specialist, community-based resource specialist, and a case manager. It is my honor to stand for those that are voiceless, as it is my honor to assist in their recovery. I urge the legislature to address this budget issue from a more humane and just perspective instead of on the backs of the vulnerable.
Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh, we're doing great.
Hi, I'm Tawny Reyna, and this is my son Kai.
Hi, Kai.
And he's a 25-weeker and fought for his life, and I will continue to fight for his life, but Idaho is supposed to be a safe place for him. So don't cut Medicaid.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and sharing and bringing. Thank you. Hi, sweetie.
Love my brother.
I love my brother.
Please don't take his therapy away.
Please don't take my brothers away.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. That was wonderful. Okay, go.
My name's, sorry, that.
I know that was, gosh.
My name's Edith Crawford. I'm from Emmett, and I am here. I have a 39-year-old brother with Down syndrome. I'm his co-guardian and direct service provider. He has HCBS services, and he is in supported living.
Okay.
He is greatly benefited, and cuts would be detrimental.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. And keep it coming. Good job. You're doing great.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kate Heil. I'm a family medicine and addiction medicine physician at a local federally qualified health center. I have a lot of patients who benefit from the services that have been already mentioned. I'm concerned about Medicaid provider cuts because that would be detrimental to access to specialty care, things like that. And I'm also very strongly opposed to any repealing of Medicaid expansion or cuts to Medicaid expansion. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thanks for what you do. Good job.
I'm Trixie Wade, and this is my daughter Harper. And I was here. Just the past year, Medicaid had already taken multiple hits. We have not even allowed time to see the full impact of those hits. So I'm just asking you to protect the provider rates so care doesn't disappear completely. Protect those therapies that the children need, and allow current policy to take time to take effect. And I also worked on the bill that Alana is supporting for the FPCS, and I really feel that is important as well to be considered.
And your name and where you live again?
I'm Trixie Wade, Nampa, Idaho.
Nampa. Okay, thank you, Trixie. Keep it coming. You're doing great. There we go.
Hi, I'm Christina Rambo from Emmett, Idaho. And this is my beautiful 5-year-old daughter, Sophia Rambo. She was actually the St. Louis Children's Champion for 2025.
Oh.
And our family has given so much back to the hospital, Children's Hospital, for children like Sophia. And she would not be here today. She has acute flaccid myelitis. 1 out of a million children get it. And she was normal up to 2 years old. And then had a cold and fell down at home, paralyzed from the neck down. And since then, she's worked so hard doing PT and OT. She works so much and to try to get as much quality of life back. And if we cut Medicaid, she's going to regress. She could end up back in the hospital. It's going to be bad. So.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
coming in
and her name
sharing.
is Sophia.
Sophia. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, come on. We got about 10 more people.
My name is Kathleen Stewart. I'm from District 14. My daughter Juliet in the back of the room has a permanent disability, but the effects of that disability are mitigated by the services she receives. She took her first steps at 7.5 years old in September, thanks to the physical therapy services that she receives.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Good job. Keep it coming. Oh, you're doing great.
Hi, I'm Christina Patterson. I'm from District 14. I am a 4th-generation Idahoan, and my uncles were institutionalized in the 50s. They got released. I'm now a certified family home for them. I have 2 brothers who went through the school system. I've seen what Medicaid can do. Any cuts at all, to the disabled, to the young, to anybody, impacts not just people, but our bottom line. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Go.
Good evening. My name is Danny Valley. I am a medical student in District 17 at the Idaho College of Osteopathic Medicine. I'm here tonight representing myself and a coalition of over 30 other student physicians, and we're just concerned with the clearly detrimental effects that these cuts to Medicaid would have, as Idaho consistently ranks 50th in the nation in physicians in primary care per capita to our patients. And that's exacerbated in rural areas where Medicaid is the primary payer. So doing so will only shutter these clinics and systems and drive future physicians out of Idaho. So we're concerned with that and the ability to provide for these needing communities. So thank you for doing this.
We talked on the phone?
Yes.
Thank you for being here, and thanks for collecting those. Great. Go.
Hi, I'm Janie Kleffner, and I'm from Meridian. I was here tonight to advocate for speech therapy, OT, PT, on behalf of my 4-year-old son, Archie, and oppose the 20-session cap. So thank you guys for making time for us
Thank you
tonight.
so much. Thank you. Doing great.
Hi, my name is Matt Schmazzo, and this is my wife, Paige Olivetti. We're from District 18. Here to speak on behalf of our daughter. She's 5 years old, and she has cerebral palsy. Just a quick note, she's definitely on the milder side of a cerebral palsy diagnosis. And even in that case, she attends 3 to 4 physical therapy sessions a week. So I have a hard time with this because we see all of these amazing families here tonight and at our clinic. And I can't imagine what that would be like for other families with a much different and severe case. So we're here to speak on our behalf and theirs relative to Medicaid cuts, the Katie Beckett program, and caps on physical therapy.
Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you sharing that. Go.
Hello, my name's Bo Gooch. I'm from District 18. I run a res hab with my 2 brothers up there and our wonderful team out of Southeast Boise. And I wore this shirt today. It says bread for all and roses too, because it was a phrase that grew to popularity during the women's suffrage movement. And I have 2 daughters. And I think this applies to the disabled community as well, where bread represents your freedom to live and get by, and the roses represent your freedom to a life with dignity and beauty and culture. And this would take away the roses and the bread for a lot of them. And so I think there's been a lot of worry, a lot of sadness, and I think we need a little more anger towards the Republicans that aren't in the room. I think we need to memorize who on the JFAC committee votes against this, memorize their face, and don't let them be comfortable in public. If you see Josh Tanner, yell at him.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Next. I forgot what I was going to say. Go.
Hi, my name is John Basabi. I'm a constituent from District 23. I have been for Medicaid expansion for many years. I'd like to thank Luke and Rebecca at this time. I'm no longer on Medicaid. I didn't meet work requirements. And even though I work, I still feel that the people who can't work should be represented.
Yes.
There's an attrition zone that many of our society is facing due to hardships for cost of living, insurance, medication. Medicaid expansion saved my life. And from a mental health standpoint, it saved my life also. But it's a big, heavy road that so many people have to face. Whether it's in-home care, affording someone able to get a job through unemployment office and be able to go and provide in-home care for someone.
Yes.
That is something that I appreciate that the state provides as a service. But the hardship for cost of living for in-home care facilities, patients, and staff is overwhelming and not adequate. It needs to be addressed, I feel, because of the rampant fraud and abuse that Medicaid has undergone since its expansion and introduction since 2019.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we have to keep moving. Darn it. You did great. You want to say one more thing? Go.
Thank you. I think that health is a human right, and everybody is afforded that privilege. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Bless you for being here. Appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. Go.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. My name's Susan Dorita. I'm speaking on behalf of my 14-year-old daughter, Sydney. She's been through a lot. She's had a kidney transplant. She has autism, ADHD, and Medicaid has been a blessing to us. She receives therapy, physical therapy, OT, speech, home and community-based services, specifically behavioral support and CSW, community service worker. So these are life-changing for her. And she also has lifetime medication with Medicaid. So I'm very blessed with Medicaid, and I just respectfully urge that you know, for the powers that be, to not cut the supports for this vulnerable community, because these are not luxury services. They're life-needed services.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. You finally got to you.
Hello, my name is Stacy Bauer. I'm from Mountain Home. I am a stepmom to 33-year-old fraternal twin boys who were born at 2.5 and 3 pounds that have developmental and intellectual delays. On top of that, in high school, they were diagnosed schizoaffective. That probably is the scariest part of their diagnoses, and we depend on Medicaid for medications and for counseling and therapies that keep them stable. I really urge that that is not something that is optional. That is something that is essential to our lives. So thank you for your support, and I hope the powers that be understand that this is not an optional service.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Leave your statement. Great job. Okay, we're almost there.
Good evening, Tiffany McMillan from Eagle. I'm a doctor of physical therapy, 16 years as an early intervention physical therapist, 6 years as an autism mom, and 40 years as a sister of a brother with significant autism. Medicaid cuts would devastate every area of my life, both professional and personal, and had not the therapist at Rise Behavior Intervention recognized that my brother was suicidal, he would have certainly died this past fall. Thank you.
Thank you for being here and sharing that. Good job. Go.
I'm Shelley McDaniel. I'm from Murta, Idaho, District 24. I had 2 boys sitting back there, one with long dreadlocks. They are gone, had to use the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm a certified home, and they use DD services. My son with the long dreadlocks was a 2-pound preemie. He didn't walk, talk, or look at anybody, but because of all the therapies he's had and everything, he is an amazing person. He's super funny, fun. He's an avid rock climber. We have a group in Twin Falls that works with all these kids to do that. And I also have adopted 20 kids, almost all through foster care, 18 of them. And most of them suffer with mental health, and I've heard a lot about the mental health. I have one son that's in maximum security prison that was actually raped in Dietrich. Because of what happened to him and his mental health, he's schizoaffective. He is now, that's where he is, because they don't know what else to do with him. Medicaid has made our lives a lot better, and especially for those kids from foster care.
Yes,
so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being here. Go.
My name is Andrew McMurray. I'm a primary care provider in Nampa. I live in Meridian, 5th generation Idahoan. I'm also on the PAMI advisory committee to the Disability Rights of Idaho. And I have a child with myriad mental health concerns. Medicaid allows us to be Idahoan.
Yes.
And without it, it's hard to stay here.
Thank you for all you do. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, we're getting down there. Go.
My story is that.
What's your name and where you from?
Yes, I'm from Boise,
okay,
Idaho. My name is Jeremy Moore.
Okay.
And my story is that now, after the mental collapse that I had 5 years ago, and Medicaid helped me get through that time, I'm a rehab worker now that has been supporting my living situation, and things are going well. So I just want to have a testament to how well Medicaid has helped me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good job. I appreciate it. Last but not least, what's your name? Where are you from? And
I'm Lucas. I'm from Boise. Basically, I just want to say that I'm a client at a rehab called Roots, and I've been with them for about 6 years. And there's all these different rehabs and programs, but I just want to say it's good people.
Good.
It's good, loving people that actually care about other people, you know. And when you guys do stuff like this, like for everybody to talk and all that, it's beautiful. So, yeah, thank you guys.
that was a perfect way to end our evening, wasn't it? Thank you. Any final comments from folks, for anybody who's here that you want to share, even for there's just the ending? Go.
Thank you, Melissa. And I do just want to, I know the audience has certainly dwindled, but something really incredibly important is happening on Friday. Get the message out. We're going to be making a very critical vote pertaining to the services that you all use. We need you to show up on Friday. JFAC needs to see you. They need to understand what these implications of their vote is going to be. It is important. It's the first of many votes coming down the pipeline. Please show up, encourage your community to be there, and let them see you.
Thank you, guys. Good job. Okay, Steve, go ahead.
And I would pair the value that's, values which drives a lot of things, and what the value that's missing is community. When you value community, it's not just about what's best for you, but it's about what's also respecting those around you as well. And we need more of that. And I would just say one other thing. If anyone tells you that this state doesn't have the money to adequately fund Medicaid, they're not telling you the truth.
Well, anyone else want to say something? Well, again, thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here and just really sharing all these stories. We have all this. We're going to try to get those into the hands of the legislators, and this will be posting the link. It has been recorded. It'll be on our digital archive. So that's a great thing. It's all there in history. So if you have any needs, these people are easy to find. They're amazing. Thank you for coming. Good job, everyone.